Okay, so, well, yeah, I mean, so it was yesterday after years of all of this, and I'm a writer and I'm supposedly really good with words. I always thought parsimony was a vegetable.
Pu- Wait, put. Wait. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. It's not a vegetable?
No, no, it's a European car, apparently.
Really?
Mm, no,
No, it is a vegetable.
no, it's not. That's a parsnip.
Oh, so it's a what the fuck is a parsnip then?
Oh, no, parsimony. Parsimony is, if I'm not mistaken, uh, something to do with really, really liking money.
Okay. All right. Wait. So, okay. So is parsnip because I've been going like my whole life thinking that parsnip was a vegetable.
Parsnip is a vegetable.
Okay, thank fucking God. Am I having a stroke?
Um,
What just happened?
must have gotten your little kitty there.
My my
They
brain
were
cancer, my worms.
Yeah, no, somebody just came around and just worked up your lady parts a little too much there, but we'll get into that.
My lady parts. Okay. All right.
And
All
that's
right.
relevant.
I guess so. I mean, no, it is. It's pretty relevant. I mean,
I've been awake for a whopping 4 hours, and all 4 hours of that has been spent on this show.
okay. Can we got to talk about daylight savings time? Hang on a second. I need to close this door. We gotta talk about the bullshit that is daylight savings time. Because I'm sorry, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. Before, when I was a young lad, and I was spry, and there was still a pep in my step, bouncing back from daylight savings time wasn't that big of a deal. But now I am old. I am old. I'm an alcoholic, with crippling self-esteem issues and bad skin. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, okay. So,
Are you making
but
fun of me?
no, I have fucking bad skin too. Fuck it, whatever. Wow, we're more alike than I ever thought.
Star Trek nerds with self-esteem issues and bad skin, can you believe
And
it?
alcohol problems. Weird.
In this current year, no less, too.
Anyway, that's not important. What I'm trying to say though is that I can't bounce back from daylight savings time. Like waking up on time, fine, not an issue. I wake up every morning, no matter what, at 6 a.m. Like even if I've been out all fucking night and I only crash for 20 minutes, I wake up at 6 a.m. That's not the problem. Problem is I can't get to sleep. My whole internal compass is totally fucked up.
Gil.
I hate
I
it.
know. I know. Well, I mean, I was all proud because I got my sleep schedule back onto like I was waking up at like 5, 6 a.m., going to sleep at normal times. And then I think it was probably fucking around on Conan that fucked that up because now it's like, yeah, I'll just sit and casually listen to music and write. And then I'll like peek into my kitchen and I'll see the bright ass morning sun of 8 a.m. And I'll be like, oh,
Mm,
I did it again.
yeah.
That's fine.
Old man
I'll,
yells at time.
yeah. I end up just rapping like let's put a bandana around as a blindfold and just like listen to all of the screaming people in the streets and all like the shitty drivers and it's just white noise. I'm gonna move out someday. I'm gonna be living nice and somewhere nice and quiet and peaceful with serene vistas all around, and I'm gonna be like, I can't get to sleep. I don't hear fucking I don't hear cars downshifting needlessly. I don't hear people
Weird.
screeching their tires. I don't hear ghetto people
Hey,
screaming at each other and hacking up emphysemic lungs while they
hey,
ask my friends for coke.
hey.
Sorry.
Tickle Truck just did a sub bomb. Holy fucking shit. 5 subs. Man, wow, damn. And I know the sub bombs, like, they're all just indiscriminate, just like, whoever gets them, gets them. Thank you so much, buddy. Let's do a catch up real quick, and then we'll get back to being old men ranting and bitching about things. But let's
Yelling
see
at
some fucking
time.
pinkies up in the chat. Pinkies up like a motherfucker. Yes, Slay Queen. I gotta make some more emojis for different tiers, too.
Yeah, because there's one thing a mature and intellectual audience like ours needs. It's emojis.
Yeah, Ward Off Demons rated us early with his party of 8. That was very kind. Thank you. Cats and Lady.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Cats and Lady 313. Resubscribe with Prime for 12 months. 1 whole year. Says, hey, 12 months. Somebody subscribed to our YouTube channel. That's cool. Eddie Monster says, gone are the days of the 40
Change of
ounce.
pace.
I went down to my finest petrol doling establishment and bartered a mere $2.38 for a 42 whole ounces of the finest malt liquor this side of Skid Row. Ye old English of the 800 variety, and yes, it sucks. I too
Yeah.
am someone who decided it would be very nostalgic to get a 40 of Old E at one point.
Not tonight, though.
No, not tonight. No.
Okay.
And I can confirm that nostalgia does not replace taste.
Yeah, if I pick up a bottle of Wild Irish Rose, actually, come to think of it, last time I drank that when I was like 15, I ended up like ingesting 3/4 of the bottle and then leaving 1/2 of it on the custom seat covers of my buddy's 240 SX because he thought it'd be a good idea to stuff my teenage drunken ass in the tiny ass back seat, and then to bump Biggie Smalls while he takes corners real hard.
Nice.
That was a hell of a night.
Let's see. Then we've got Anime Moon. A gentle reminder that in this weird, timey-wimey place and something about International Lemons Day that Japan is a pinnacle of gender equality. He sent us a link. We'll look at it here in a little bit. Tickle Trunk gifted subs to Kexler, Wizard of Cause, weird. Meowski.
Yeah.
Meowski,
Thanks.
Vampire, Lou Beans, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Donnie says, "Sup, Daddy Jeff?" And I guess I should say hi to Nick as well. Aw. I'm using guys as background noise as I learned my finger picking anime songs on guitar. I don't know.
I don't know why, but for some reason I really thought that sentence was going to end with finger painting, and I'm like, yes, this seems appropriate for a Twitch stream. It's like, what do you do for a living? I got a job through Easter Seals. What do you do? I got a job through Easter Seals. What do you do? I tie ribbons on soap. It's a growth industry.
Ward off demons. It all adds up, right? It does, man. It does. Very, very appreciate it. Any hosts, anything that you guys do, always appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. Yeah. In fact, it is the Saints community that makes the show actually possible. You guys pick us up when we are down, and we love you. And so we will be a bunch of leaping monkeys for your amusement as much as we can, being old, crusty fuckheads.
Well, I'm genuinely confused by Addie's post in the chat.
Eddie Monster's obsessed with Mr. Hands again.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. All right, that makes sense.
Pro tip: if you watch the episode that we did earlier, I think last week, where I actually watched Mr. Hands, but obviously it's not on the screen.
If
you look really closely in my sunglasses, you could actually kind of blurrily make out what was going on. It's pretty hilarious. But you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Aside from the fact that there's penetration of horse penis, nothing actually breaks the terms of service. Aside from that, bare ass. I mean, you could show bare ass on network television. It's fine. Nobody complains. Nobody cares. It's fine.
I imagine if I put my bare ass on like YouTube would demonetize and probably like country restrict the channel, and they'd be like, no, listen, we're not protecting the audience. We're protecting you.
My ass. 3
or 4 years from now.
My ass has been on YouTube in a few streams way back in the day. Your balls have been on stream.
It's true.
Not my whole dick, but just a thin sliver of the shaft. You can only see just a peak of the shaft at one point in one stream, like a million years ago. So
you gotta. I mean, if we're gonna free the nipple, why don't we just free everything, huh? That's right.
You don't get whole shaft.
Yeah, that's when we still, that's a patron reward when we eventually get the Saints patron opened, which we're gonna be doing any day now.
You don't get the whole dick. You don't. You have to
share.
You have to share.
Pay.
You have to share because dick is now communal property. That's how socialism works. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do like a shitty Trump there.
What? No.
You need to speak like you've got bigger jowls than you do. You need your mouth and your words to echo everything off of the interior edge of your face.
That's not bad. Yeah. Saints Patreon the same time as Pornhub Saints? Yeah, probably. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Hey, technically we've opened accounts on both of those sites.
Yeah, no, technically, I mean, well, we do have content on the YouTube Saints Pornhub account. We do.
Yeah. We won't even describe it for any new people who've showed up who really want to go there with high expectations and just be let down.
Yeah, that's pretty
like
much
the rest, like the show in general.
Or our dreams.
Yes. The nice thing though about being this age is that you can look back on your childhood and think about all the wonderful things you'd hoped for when you'd grown up, but then you remember that you're in your 30s and you wonder why you're still waiting to grow up someday. It's like, hey, I could still be a race car driver
So I wanted
someday.
to fill you in on something. So this is actually pretty great. This is a bit of a Saints community event that happened randomly last night. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So for those, not maybe not everybody knows, but I have slowly begun to cultivate a little bit of an odd friendship with Mr. Brett Keane. We talk now and then. One of the arch villains of the Drunken Peasants, Brett Keane, and I, every now and then we do talk. Every now and then, like once a month, I'll just pop on and shoot the shit with him because I find him interesting.
It's funny because I was actually just telling Anna Hot Hearts tonight that it's been remarkable. Jeff has actually avoided doing something exceptionally stupid in a while. I guess I should.
But no, I go on and I have conversations with him because here's the thing. Recently, Brett, who is a theist YouTuber, used to be an atheist, but now he's like very religious. He put out some rather troubling videos, and I took very great exception to it. But rather than get really pissed off about the way he's talking about gay people or trans people or whatever, I kind of looked at him and I'm like, you know what? Maybe the dude just needs a good example of somebody who's chill and in that zone who can show him that not everybody is going to be a dickbag to him. So I decided to be nice to him, and it's actually worked out rather well. So last night, he was hosting a debate, kind of, with a bunch of flat earthers on his little channel. There's like 12 people watching. And so I popped in. I'm like, are we really doing this? Oh my God, Brett. All right, here we go. Total thing was a damn shit show. But Jables Bogley, Rimshee, Devil King, all from the Saints fam, all came over. And we ended up having a little bit of a party. And then Billy the Fridge and our friend Eye Candy showed up too. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
Well, then I guess I know why I only had 7 people watching me play Just Cause at 2 a.m.
No. I think this is after. This would have been at like 4 a.m. your time. I think you're already done streaming by then.
I wish I could say like, oh, I would have been asleep by then, but that wasn't true.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was absolutely fun. It was a good time.
Well, that's a positive thing, I suppose. I mean, it's a funny thing because we were discussing it earlier. Like, in general, remember we used to have like little arguments, not just you and I, but everyone about like whether or not there was a community on YouTube and the like.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember
Then we came
that.
to find out that. Well, then it's funny because like when all the dumb shit happened, like the entire basically all of 2018 with all of its like sniping fiascos and shit talking bonanzas and all that. It's funny because the notion of like, nah, we're all just independent, like islands of creators don't really do shit with each other, actually just became a self-fulfilling prophecy because all of a sudden, like nobody. Like, I was even talking to Magog, and he was like, yeah, nobody works with each other anymore. I'm like,
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
Well, I mean, we're taking this step. In fact, let's just make the announcement here because we got a pretty hefty 66 people watching right now.
Sure.
So this is the new time slot for midweek.
Yes.
We were talking, and we were like, why don't we go at the half hour?
That was because of me.
Was it?
Yeah, it was because of me. Because Memory gets off at 3:00 my time.
Okay.
And like giving me an hour to get her like happy and done with after work thing, and then I start the pre-show, and it just seemed to work out. But it's not a requirement, so we decided like to not have a goofy time slot. Instead, we go at 4/7 p.m. EST.
But it also works out nicely too, because one of the things we've noticed is that like with you guys, there's a lot of overlap in terms of like the audiences between our show on Friday and Side Quest, which starts at 11, which is half an hour before our show ends.
Right.
My initial thinking was like, maybe I could ask Magog and Beardy if they'd like push it, if they'd push their show back a half an hour. And then I started thinking, I'm like, wait, that's stupid. Why are we going at 9:30? So from now on Fridays over on YouTube, you will find the show airing at 9 p.m. sharp, like a real TV show. Not one that's just has to wait for the fucking Flex Seal infomercial to be over before we can come on, and right before they show the off-air screen, the Eagles flying, and God, I'm old. But yeah, so new time slot's gonna be 7 on Wednesdays here
That
on Twitch,
reference.
and 9 on Fridays over
Yeah.
on YouTube.
New day,
And
same day, just a half an hour early, both days. So
we are gonna make collaborations great again.
that's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Especially because I've also still got Low Res on the hook. He agreed to do some promos,
Oh yeah.
and oh yeah, I mean,
Oh my
I
god.
I love it too because like the guy's like, oh, well, what do you have in mind? And I'm like, nothing. I just want you to do what you do.
I gotta say, I gotta be honest with you. Low Res Wonder Bread has become very quickly one of my favorite people. He's definitely in top 10, maybe top 5 guests that we've ever had. No, he's in the top 5 of
Yeah,
guests that we've ever had.
he's
He's just so chill, dude.
yeah, I mean, and what I like too is like, I mean, I talk with Vernaculus a lot because he lives about an hour away, so we hang out pretty frequently. And when I raised the notion with him, I'm like, why haven't we hung out with Jamie before? He's like, who? I'm like, Low Res. He's like, well, where is he? I'm like, about 25 minutes from your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be actually working with him pretty closely soon. I still got to come up with like the format and stuff for it, but he's like, I want to just produce a podcast for you.
I
I
want to
want,
draw you.
well, I mean, that's a little, I could actually hear James. I really, actually, hang on, I'll make it right there. I really want to, I want to produce you. I want to produce a podcast with you and just you and maybe some other people talking about things that aren't movies because that's what I do.
That's a fucking perfect low res. Holy shit. Also, other fun stuff was some people from the Saints fam also came and hung out with me this last weekend.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear that somebody is a particularly good bowler.
Yes. Somebody in specific was the sleeper surprise of the bowling competition, and she kicked everybody's asses. Everybody's asses. That's right. Meowski.
Just give us just give us your best like Charlie Murphy talking about like Prince can ball. Like you don't think so? That bitch can bowl.
It's been so fucking long since I watched the Charlie Murphy sketches. I don't think so. All I know is I was fucking blown away.
Did she make you pancakes after she was done?
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
you got to get on Prince's level, Mousky. And I don't mean like dying, but don't do that. But ball like a pro, and then after you show all those plebs how it works, make them pancakes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
we went bowling and hung out for hours, and then went to go have dinner, and then went to Game Pub, and Game Pub was sick as fuck. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good time, really good time.
Uh,
Okay, well, I guess I should probably get on with the show. What whiskey am I drinking? Oh my dude, only the absolute finest of
Called it.
Kentucky bourbon. In like, and here's the thing, there are a lot of cucks out there that like to drink shit in glass, and glass is for cucks. All right, plastic means I can do this with my alcohol. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Can yours do that, Mr. Fancy Pants? Didn't fucking
Why
think
would
so.
you ever do that with your whiskey?
What? Shake it up.
Now throw it away.
It's Evan. I don't really care what happens to it. Ooh, now it's
Like
carbonated.
I like Evan Williams because I can keep it consistent. Pour it out of a plastic bottle into a nice red plastic solo cup, and I'm reducing my carbon footprint by reusing the cup.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Man. Donnie says, Fox 9 weather is stupid, was talking about snow in the western states and showed a video that was claiming to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It was actually Coors Field in Denver. Also, I'm hyped because I'm going to a concert in a week and a half. Well, good for you, man. I hope it's an awesome concert. Eddie Izzard is going to be in my state later this summer, and I think I want to go see him.
Is his stand-up like still like solid? Because
Yes.
I remember like the early ones that caught everyone's attention were brilliant, and then I caught like I think one or two of them afterwards, which were like they were good, but they were like, oh, it's like when Mark Maron got sober.
He's still pretty brilliant. I don't know. Like, I think maybe his heyday is over. Oh my god, these fucking bugs that squirm under the door in this fucking studio. Fuck you. Sorry.
We're sitting in front of a trash can, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then it all makes sense. The other
That-
thing that I'm kind of curious about, though, is somebody clued me in that this year might be Rammstein's last year ever. So I'm like,
Then it's a great thing too, is because like you can actually go and watch an Eddie Izzard stand-up show, and then you can go watch Rammstein on their last tour, and you can feel even older because those still feel new to us.
okay, here's the thing, though. The very first VidCon I ever went to, during that VidCon, Rammstein was in LA. And I had to make the choice of what I was going to do.
Was
And-
was this 2017?
Yeah. And
Okay, so like after like you had your drunken blow up when we thought you were just trekking off into town, you were actually just drunkenly hoping to go find Ramstein.
That's right.
Say,
That's right.
Hey guys, I'm a celebrity too. How are you doing? We're both it's like we're brothers, and we're in LA, and this is great. Look, can I tell you about this bitch? This bitch who just tagged along. She's trying to rape my friend Vernaculus in the hotel room. It's fucking terrible.
Dude, no.
Goddamn.
No, oh my god. Let's not get into that fucking story. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, no. VidCon 2017, all stories from VidCon 2017. I think anybody who remembers anything that happened should just keep their fucking mouths shut.
I had a lot more fun the second time around. Namely because I didn't have to go to fucking VidCon.
Are you going this year?
No.
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Why would I?
Because that's how we hang out.
That's like I still owe Rhino money from the last time.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll
Yeah.
try and get you out here to Oregon at some point. Cause...
Yeah. So it's like, man, I can't. Oh, dude, I totally can't wait to like get out to VidCon, like hang out with a small handful of friends, and then half of them go fuck off to hang out with other people because there's too many goddamn people and no coordination.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah.
Addy Monster says, Jim Beam comes in glass because you need a weapon to ward off your inner demons and you've had too much. But sure, good luck with your plastic. I like that visual too. Like, I'm starting to feel emotions. Get back. I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'll fucking do it. Ward off demons here. 40 more of these tips and you can buy a bottle of decent scotch. Fuck that plastic bottle shit. You know, my buddy Tim, who's a Dane, he keeps telling me, he's like, I want
What the fuck is this racist shit? You're like, you have to clarify. It's like he's a Dane, but he's one of the good ones. It's okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with the Danish. They're fine, you know. Except for that whole starting the slave trade thing, that was bad. But what? Anyway, but he didn't do it. He wasn't alive at the time, so he scot free. He's totally fine. So anyway, Tim, the Dane, and I love him. You know him. Sage. Yeah. He keeps telling me that he gets really sad every time I'm drinking like this cheap ass whiskey, and he's like, I want you to go out and buy a bottle of Glenlafroig blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. But you have to go buy it, and then I will pay you back. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me.
It's either Glen something or it's just Lafroig. Lafroig is not a Glen.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. All I know is for the price that I could get a bottle of Glen the Frog Sucky Dicky Magicy, whatever the fuck it is, I could buy like 10 or 20 of these things.
Yeah, I mean, because, honestly, like, a child really only needs their parents and, through the first 25 or so years of their life before
After that, you're just fucking, you're just padding it out. It doesn't really matter.
After that, like, parents become redundant, especially fathers. By the way, catch my new article coming out on The Guardian on that matter very soon.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, I've been having, we'll jump into the news in just a second, but as people might have noticed, I've also been drowning in brisket lately. So My buddy discovered that the local supermarket has put brisket on sale, like corned beef brisket on sale for the month of March for St. Patty's Day. And I don't want to say he's a prepper, but let's just say that like every day for the last week, I'll get up some stupid time in the afternoon. I'll sit down, I'll start writing, and then I usually like during the day I'll leave my door unlocked because I'm sitting right next to it, and then I know people probably going to show up. He'll just show up, knock once, walk in with like two grocery bags just full of like 4 or 5 briskets and stuff them in my freezer. I've got about 8 of them, plus a bag of squirrels in there right now. So we've been doing a lot of dinner parties. Now, over the course of these dinner parties, he's been talking about writing comedy. He knows I like to do that, and we just drunkenly got into a discussion. This is probably the worst joke I've ever come up with. Are you ready?
Sure.
Here's a weird and freaky thing to think about. There was a time in history, way, way, way back when slavery was the humane option. An invading army takes over a city, and you can just imagine these two soldiers sitting around like, that was a good fight, wasn't it? Oh yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I mean, they're all dead now. You know what I hate though is the general keeps making us do all of this work stuff afterwards. What are we going to do about that? Wait a second. I've got an idea. What if instead of killing all of them, we let them live but make them do work?
Okay.
What are we going to pay them with? No, that's the thing. We don't pay them. Genius, isn't it? At the time, that would have been the humane option, because otherwise it was just like, oh yes, I've assembled my army of conscripted teenage men with clubs, and we just show up at this village and kill everyone. And then eventually somebody had the genius notion of like, wait a second, we can just make them do stuff, and they get to live. It's so humane. It's like humanitarian award of the Bronze Age right there. It's fucking insane.
Aw, poor Bartu. He lives on an island, so he didn't know that we started in a half an hour early. It's all right. It's not your fault. You live on an island. It's okay.
Yeah, not only that, the good thing about us starting half an hour earlier from our normal time is that if you tune in at the normal time, we'll actually be getting to the real show.
Yeah, we'll actually be like starting to get entertaining, So it's kind of nice. That's good. We haven't even gotten to the Dune or Star Trek references yet, but we will. First though, all right, let's do some news. I'm in the mood. Finally.
Yeah, and I won't make any more of those jokes like that because I forget from time to time that we're not on stream.me.
You made a joke?
So. Oh boy.
All right, Ohio man goes on beer-only diet for Lent. I am suspiciously attracted to this weird milfy presenter. I don't want to talk about it. March 11th, an Ohio man is taking inspiration from the monks of yesteryear with his unusual Lent fast, giving up all food and drinks except for beer. Del Hall, who works at the 50 West Brewery in Dayton, said he will not eat or drink anything except beer for all 46 days of Lent. What a fucking stud. What a champion.
Well, it gets better than that, though, too, and I'll explain in a minute, but he's actually sticking more to tradition than most people would think.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Hall said he was inspired by monks from the 1600s who would make a special Bock beer for Lent. Being master brewers, they decided that they would take a popular style of beer in Germany, Bock beer, make it extra hearty, and that would be their liquid bread, and that's what they called it. So the monks in Bavaria, they would call Doppelbock liquid bread, and basically it would sustain them throughout the 46 days of Lent.
Yep.
Which, speaking biologically, if it is an especially thick and extra hearty beer, that kind of works, actually.
Well, the way he tells the tale there, right, is actually kind of undercutting it because it's one of my favorite beer history stories.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the monks back in the day.
Oh, history time, everybody.
Yeah, back in the day, the monks used to actually, they'd brew a nice hearty beer to like help the hunger pains and help them feel like they were getting some nutrients and all this. And a Bock is, if you ever had Shiner Bock, that's a Texas version of it. It's a darker, heavier beer, really usually kind of sweet, bittersweet, full of flavor. The thing was is that one year they were, because brewing is, if you're doing it in the 16th century, it's more art than science. So you're not going to get the same thing every time. And one time they actually, I think they added a little too much in the way of roasted grains, and they got this thing which tasted super delicious. If you've ever had a double bock or a doppelbock, you know what I'm talking about. So they have this delicious beer, and it's really indulgent. And the shit's like it's like between 11 and 14% alcohol. So they're starting to think maybe this is a bit too indulgent for a holy time such as Lent. So they
Right.
pack up a cask and they send it to the Vatican. And now they send this by horse-drawn carriage down out of the mountains, getting all shaken up. It's cooking under the sun for days and days, if not weeks on end. Finally, it reaches the Vatican. The Pope gets a sip of it, finds it absolutely revolting because the thing had spoiled. He writes back to the monastery that created it, saying that he finds it such a difficult thing to drink and endure that he feels it would be good for their souls if they made and consumed as much as possible during the holy time of Lent.
I like this guy already.
Yeah, and I just wish I could be a fly on the wall in that particular meeting when they get the letter and they're like, well, this thing tastes delicious and gets us hammered. Wonder what the Pope says. Did we send the right thing? Do you want to argue with his holiness? Not now.
No.
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 Mm-mm.
So,
Nope.
and that's how we have the double block. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
And this has been your history moment. Hall says he is altering the monk's tradition by including all types of beer in his fast. I've done big challenges, but this seems very daunting, Hall said, so I'm just curious if I'm up to the challenge, if I'm going to be able to do it or not. Hall is documenting his beer fast on his YouTube channel. Oh my god, I love this already. Where he said he is already starting to see weight loss from the unusual diet. Can we check this? Can we look at this a little bit?
Honestly, I mean, well, this describes me at the beginning of 2018 anyway.
So Del Hall, he's got 622 subscribers.
Well, let's click that button. Come on.
Oh, are we subscribing?
Well, let's subscribe. Come on. He's only got. I mean, like
subscribing.
anybody.
This is on my personal account, but whatever. I'll subscribe. Fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah, well, anybody who's got less subscribers than I do on a daily basis, which is increasingly more and more people, they deserve the boost.
Okay. Yeah. No. Fuck, man. I'll actually put this in the My Circle. Maybe we'll take a link. Take a link. We'll take a leak. We'll take a leak. We're gonna take a leak, dude.
Take a lonk.
After we're done with this article, we'll look at Anime Moon's video that he sent us, and then we'll look at that at some point. Yeah.
You didn't send me a My Circle, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. I hadn't even started one yet. I didn't know if we are gonna use one, but I should have known better.
Always, it's preparation, man.
It's preparation.
Preparation, H-bomb.
I'm glad you said it because I wasn't sure what was gonna happen.
So it's gonna go somewhere. Listen, if anybody's gonna jump on the grenade that is a bad joke on this show, it's one of us.
I just want to point this out though, and this is actually very important. When you send me like a random link for $5, we'll take a look at it for just a short amount of time. But if it starts with anime people in a swimming pool in bathing suits, I'm gonna get upset. I'm upset.
God knows we don't want this show to turn into something where people pay money so that Jeff is forced to endure things he doesn't like. That would totally fuck up our the canon.
Right. Okay, hang on. I gotta send this to you real quick. Okay.
Yeah. I like it. Thank you, Y2KNW. Preparation H-bomber guy. Yes.
All right, cool. You should have the My Circle link then.
I got it.
All right. I'm really upset about what we're about to
Well, I don't know. It's got a goofy sort of style to it, so.
It does. It does. But I'm not happy about it.
Every so often you're going to have to accept that anime is pretty good.
Awful. No.
Pretty awesome.
No.
Pretty amazing.
No, it's not. It's not. Oh my god. All right. Fuck it. Wait.
I'm not exactly following what's going on here.
No, neither am I. Neither am I. Okay, let's reread his Streamlabs. He said, a gentle reminder that in this weird timey-wimey place and something about International Lemons Day, that Japan is the pinnacle of gender equality. Are we gonna have to watch the whole 11 minutes to get this
Joke? The joke? I feel like I'm hanging out with Anahata Hartzell. I don't think we need the title.
Okay. We're gonna give it a couple of more seconds just to try and figure this out.
That's basically how I teach Quinn to deal with bullies.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah. I'll just throw you in the river.
Anime Moon, I don't know what the fuck this is, but just give it 2 minutes. Give it 2 minutes? $5 does not buy you 2 minutes. Oh my god.
We gotta define the rates soon.
We gotta define this fucking rate, man.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Okay. Oh, good for them. Good for them. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. That's fine.
That's very progressive. I mean, you know, it sort of reminds me of the way King Arthur, got his sword. After he threw
Stuck in Lancelot's asshole?
Yeah, no, he threw a couple kids in the water as a sacrifice, and then some arm comes out and hurls a scimitar at him.
It sounds more like a Catholic church.
I don't understand. I always go there with that too. It's like, I don't understand how it is we elect is that how we elect a leader? Every time some watery tart hurls a scimitar at a man, he becomes king.
Biotech Babe says, I dressed like a Japanese schoolgirl this week at school. You don't get to just say that kind of shit without proving it. You know what? That's just, it's
yeah, that's very true. I think, we need some more background photos.
You can't just say that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, so this has been your
society. You gotta walk the walk if you talk the talk. Anyway,
so to sum up that news item, a man's drinking beer for Lent, and then we followed it by this has been your midweek perv out moment.
There was news.
Yeah.
What was it?
Guys drinking beer during Lent.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's news.
Yeah, dude. I wish I could drink beer for Lent. Oh, wait, I did.
Yeah, me too. No, it's a Jewish tradition. It's kind of like going to Chinese restaurant and a movie theater during Christmas. No?
I love going for Chinese food during Christmas. It's like one of my favorite things on the planet.
It's kind of weird when you get to a certain age, though, and you see Christmas lights and you hear jingle bells playing, and you're like, I really want some crab rangoon.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So Donnie Donnie says, so you guys weren't paying attention. A porno was being set up in the chat. Just thought you should know that the chat is doing good tonight. Well, that's good. How are you doing tonight, chat? You doing good? Let's see some ones if you're doing good tonight. Let's see some. They see some. You can do ones and twos. Let's see some twos if you're ready to fuck on camera, fuck for film, fuck for money.
Fuck to make new fighters for the Islamic Caliphate.
Hey, hang on. I'm already on enough lists already. Let's not do that.
It's just all of a sudden some Danes will show up asking if they can make a new documentary about you trying to shepherd young people over to Syria.
I swear to God. Okay, you know what? That's actually really funny and also not funny at all. And let me tell you why. So Nick knows the horrible atrocity that was me getting interviewed for a documentary. I was in a documentary with Jordan Peterson. I absolutely was. It was on Danish television.
Whoa, my God. I'm sorry. I just realized, though. You were in a documentary with Jordan Peterson.
Yes, I was.
Where at some point Jordan Peterson inevitably tells someone to clean their room because that's all he does. And then at the same time, your scene was you digging through your absolute mess of a garage.
that is part of the documentary. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's he
doesn't say clean your room, but he does say, and I quote, the Keki boys.
God, no, I was just hoping they cut it so it's Here we find Portland area racist Jeff Holiday in his garage, which is full of garbage and hate symbols. But he has so many, he cannot find the right one. We spoke to Jordan Peterson to find out how he could address these problems. You gotta clean your room, bucko. And that was all he had to say.
So in this fucking documentary, they wanted to ask me about Kekistan, and I explained. I told them, like, Kekistan was made by a bunch of drunk dudes. There was a Brit, there was me, there was some weeb guy, there was a Jew, and there was a Saudi Arabian guy. Like, it was all of us just fucking around. They cut that part out. The part where I'm like, yeah, Kekistan was supposed to be an anti-racist meme taking the piss out of both social justice and the alt-right. They cut that out. They cut out every single thing that would make me not look like a Nazi, and instead only included the things that made me look like a straight-up fucking SS officer. It was so fucking abhorrent. It's an episode of Backlight. You can probably find it if you look around, if you're in the UK, or in the European Union.
Well, I think the reason they cut that out, though, is because, like, they got the international media memo that, like, I'm not allowed to actually be referenced in any way. So they're like, oh, he's the Wizard of Oz guy.
What was that show called? Gaslight? Dude, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I caught you on Peasants the other night, and they kept teasing you with the Kek flag.
Ah, that fucking made me so mad. Oh my god, fuck you, Benjamin.
I honestly do though. It's one of these things. It's like that it's like the opening to the Jackass movie, right? Where Knoxville somehow like avoids getting blown up in a house or something, and he walks away laughing. That's how I feel with Kekistan. Because if I'm not mistaken, I fucking named it.
You did.
And it's like everybody else gets to catch the flack, and they're like, "Hey, what about Kekistan?"
Anyway, so all that happened a long time ago. All that happened a long time ago. Even the documentary was like a year and a half ago or something like that. And it was wait. They had to change their schedule because I was flying down to LA to go on Dr. Phil. It was the craziest week of my life. I get interviewed by a Danish documentary crew about a fucking extremist symbol that I was involved in, and then I went down to film at Dr. Phil. It was the fucking weirdest week of my life. Anyway, a group of Danish college kids this week emailed me, and they were like, we would like to maybe interview you, maybe on the origins of Kekistan. We are trying to understand extremist hate symbols. I'm going to have to politely decline. I wrote them this long letter of like how fucking annoying everything was, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm done. I'm fucking done, dude. I'm done.
It's gonna end up like the documentary is going to be like, apparently, the creation of Kekistan was such a severe, traumatic experience for those involved that none are willing to talk to us.
It was a joke, and nobody cares. You know what killed Kekistan? You know what killed Kekistan, right?
Carl.
Well, no, I wouldn't even say. I don't think Carl killed it. I don't think Sargon killed it at all.
No, it was the meme taking off too much, and people. Well, and then Hillary.
Specifically, yeah, well, Hillary didn't fucking help at all. Isn't that weird that we made something that actually a presidential candidate got really uncomfortable about?
Hell, I mean, not just that, but also like
so weird.
The most lol-cowish racist dickweed on the face of, well, the Western Hemisphere right now, at least Richard Spencer. He got that famous punch. He got that famous little love tap while he was trying to describe his Pepe lapel pin.
But I mean, we were trying to like take Pepe away from him. That was the whole point. Somebody said Charlottesville, and it's Larry. Hey, what's up, Larry? Not Charlottesville. It was a little bit before Charlottesville. There's one thing that killed Kekistan. People started taking it seriously. That's the problem. That was the problem. It was a shitposting meme designed to never be taken seriously. And then people were like, my identity is unironically Kekistan. It's dead, dude.
Well, I think the problem was that we crafted too much of a joke. Like, I remember, what was it? Hateful Bastard did one of the best portraits for that whole meme storm we had.
He did.
Yeah, it was the Kekistani diaspora of just like a long line of Pepes and shawls walking through the desert like lost Jews.
That was so fun.
It was great fun. I mean, shit. That was like that was the best. Like the closest we ever came to joy in a meme storm like that had to be when we were fucking with Greg, Armored Skeptic.
No, I know.
That was. I know you got a soft spot for him, but I still find that night fucking hilarious.
I know it was fun. It was a fun night. I'm not gonna lie, it was a fun night. But me and Greg made up. We figured our shit out. We did. But I mean, me and Greg had some serious stuff we had to figure out because of VidCon 2017, which we're not talking about. Let's go to the next news item.
Yeah, this was fun. It's
Shit.
just
There's some things I gotta read. Well, is this one?
okay? You know what? You read those. I'm gonna go grab those batteries I need because my dumbass didn't get them.
Yeah. Go do that. I'll start reading this, and then I get to pee after this. Okay. Oh my God, a girl can dream, right? Let me change this to this and shabooshu. Just fuck it out. Yeah, I'll just fuck it out. Let's make Kekistan great again. Let's not do that. Pennsylvania man allegedly assaults driver who wouldn't stop singing Christmas carols, reports say.
I'm kind of retarded.
That looks like a man who gets a little pissed off around Christmas time. That's all I gotta say. And his name is Clayton. This is wonderful. A Pennsylvania man who was seemingly not in the Christmas spirit last week was arrested after he allegedly assaulted a man for singing festive songs, according to reports. Clayton Lucas, 25, was a passenger in a car driving down Route 28 in East Deer Township, northeast of Pittsburgh on March 4th when the altercation broke out. KDKA reported, citing a criminal complaint. The driver of the car reportedly was singing Christmas carols, which upset Lucas. He allegedly reached around the driver's seat and began choking him to the point where he almost lost consciousness, according to the news outlet. When Pennsylvania State Police tried to arrest Lucas, he allegedly wouldn't cooperate and refused to listen to their orders before he eventually was taken into custody. Lucas, according to the WTAE, was charged with aggravated assault, among other offenses. All right, so there's a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves.
Well, the chat's primarily concerned with what happened to his beard.
Hopefully it was tamed and put in a detention center to be exported.
It does look like pubes just sort of pasted to his face. It's basically like he's sort of one of those manlets who can never grow a beard. And then he hangs around barber shops, just quietly sort of like picking little clumps up off the floor and putting them in his pocket. And he gets home and he's like, no, I am a man.
It looks like a beard you could stash your drugs in, to be honest with you.
Not many, though. I mean, you could probably put like a couple little baggies.
Enough for a felony. Yeah.
I just love the look in his eye, though. Look at that crazy look. Like he's serious. It's like he's still hearing jingle bells. He's going to be in prison. They're going to have to send him to an asylum because he's just going to be rocking back and forth like jingle bells, rock jingle bells, jingle all the way, jingle all the way. It's going to be good times.
If your vagina looks like this, you fucked up.
Or you're French.
You fucked. No. You don't get a pass for some ethnic bullshit. No. Ladies.
Hey, Jeff.
Boys. If your groin looks like this, you fucked up too.
Hey, Jeff.
Trim your
do
shit.
you think we could call this hair that is crazy? Yeah, it's like putting off a stink bomb. It's like putting off a stink bomb in a car that you're riding with, or it's like singing jingle bells while you're driving your friend to his AA meeting. I'm just gonna guess. So yeah, big pinkies up to Clayton Lucas for standing up to this terrible individual who thinks that Christmas music is okay to play and sing at any time, really. I think he's really gone. Jables Boogly, I've carefully crafted my pubes into dreads over the last few years. Are you expecting me to just give that up? No, Lenny Kravitz. You keep your Lenny and your Kravitz well draped in large clumps of hair. When you drop trow in front of your next date, you can say, what? You're not a fan of The Walking Dead? People be like, that's not Michonne. I'm not talking about Michonne. He's really gone. And I don't have control of the show, so I'm just going to hang out. Hey, Magic Fowl, subscribe to Twitch Prime. By the way, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can go ahead and subscribe to the show for free. I have this feeling he's like standing just off camera, like, yeah, there we go.
Did I time it right?
Yep, perfectly.
Yeah. Did I time it right that like you were like, I wonder if he's actually gonna come back and I'm gonna have to host the show all by myself? Now I'm
Oh
a
no,
little
I just
worried.
started hosting the show all by myself. It's fine. But Magic Fowl resubscribed Twitch Prime 12 months straight. Yes.
12-month streak, no less. Damn, Magic Fowl. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Also, scrolling back just up a little bit. I missed a couple of these. Addy Monster says it's important to remember that even though the show is basically one big shitpost, the boys do have a format, and we should respect respect that. Please be mindful that the Saints are not our dancing monkeys. Also, Jeff say, my name is Jeff.
Well played, Addy. Well played. They're not our dancing monkeys. They're our singing monkeys.
Calligator says, you kicky boys are awfully mischievous agents of chaos. And indeed. Yeah,
Wait a second. Does that mean that the Keki boys are in fact women? Because as we know, women are the representation of chaos.
Well, the Keki boys are frogs so that they can swap their genders. It's all a giant transparency.
That is absolute chaos. If you don't know your gender when you're born, then you'll never have security in it when you're old enough to put your bits on top of other bits. Next thing you know, it's your room is just, you got socks piling up and your bills are piling up faster than your socks.
So Donnie says, so for the first time my parents told me to stop playing guitar. They don't appreciate my anime songs. I'm playing Dango Daikazoku from Clannad, by the way. It is the most annoying song I could be playing right now either. Well, you know what, Donnie? If you get into the call-in part of this program, I want to talk to your parents. I'm gonna set them straight.
And if you don't, let me suggest that you come up with a guitar version of Bitch Lasagna that you can play all day long.
That's right. Dizzy Windmill says, show Nick the shitlord needlepoint. I know exactly where it is. It's just on the other side of the partition of my studio. I'll have to dig it out a little bit.
Why are you sending me to my circle again?
Me? I'm not.
I just got it again.
Wow, that's weird. A ghost is trying to make you do things you shouldn't. Crab says, Jeff, have you ever tried to shave your crotch? It's just like mad when it starts growing back. Better just let it grow. No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, gents. Let me
clue you in.
Yeah, let's just jump into it. Here's the thing about shaving your junk as a dude. Clippers are your friend. If you're the kind of guy that you're really uncomfortable and you can't maintain the upkeep of actually using a razor to shave your shit down, what you do is you get a beard trimmer. And then you use the beard trimmer to just make it shorn. And it just removes the bush and turns it into a nice fade. A nice, like, stylish fade. And you might think, well, that looks kind of goofy because I got big old hairy legs. I got some hair on my belly. But now I have this, like, shorn, faded junk area. Ladies don't care. It looks bigger. It's cleaner. They're going to enjoy it more. Do it anyway. Fucking suck it up and just do it.
Unless, of course, you're in that rare class of male mammal who needs to avoid making it look larger for fear of scaring them off.
I guess, sure. Anime Moon says, I still find it morbidly hilarious that my clip where I was going, I am Kekistan in Japanese is using a local news bit about the Kekistan Strangler. Yes, yours was. It absolutely... Did you know that? Did you know about that?
Kekistan Strangler.
Yes. Some kid who identified as a Kekistan strangled. I don't know if it was both of his parents, but he killed somebody.
I'm kind of retarded.
And, like, he didn't, like, scream out, I'm Kekistan, you know, while he did it or while he was going to jail. But they dug through his social media and found out that he was hardcore Kekistani.
I could just picture this, like, this fat virgin choking his mom to death, screaming, Kek, 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 Kek.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I am just not chill, man. I'm not chill with that shit.
This is a decent segue after a fashion into the next story. But isn't it interesting that at least if you take it from what it looks like in film, right?
Uh-huh.
The look on a man's face when he's strangling someone to death is very similar to that when he's nutting.
That's gonna be a segue into the next article. What?
Yeah. Check out the next article.
Is it really? Okay. Anyway, Andy Monster says, all I'm going to say about shaving your junk is that you should, because I'm tired of picking your fucking pubes out of, I mean, it's for hygiene, of course. Don't worry about that, Addy. I'm very short. I'm a very short man. What am I saying? Oh yeah, fuck it. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, see, look. Woman, 44, has a stroke while nearing orgasm during oral sex. That's right. See, good segue because it involves both orgasms and cutting off oxygen to parts of the brain. So, a woman suffered a stroke while receiving oral sex from her lover. A 44-year-old woman from West London, of course it's in fucking London,
What is this
uh,
video?
was, quote, nearing orgasm when she passed out in the bedroom. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors found blood vessel had burst inside her skull. Medics at West Middlesex University Hospital in Isleworth, whatever, West London, said the patient was unconscious for 3 minutes after suffering a headache during oral sex, and her partner, whose gender is unknown, said they noticed her body was stiff.
I bet it was.
Although, if you
Ooh.
actually, I think we can tell the gender though, because if it was a man, he would have said her body was stiff, and so was I. On closer history taking, the patient reported nearing orgasm while receiving oral sex from her partner before losing consciousness, doctors this week wrote in the British Medical Journal. Congratulations, honey. Your near miss of an orgasm resulted in you getting in a medical journal.
Case
She's
studies.
Exactly. She had been otherwise well preceding the event. The woman who spent 2 weeks in hospital recovering in October 2018. See, look at that. Like, that beats my record, because last time I sent a woman to the hospital after giving her some licking there, like, she only spent like 3 days in that shit, and all they had to give her was antibiotics.
Mine fell out a window and she died.
Okay, well, damn it, I was gonna make an Eric Clapton joke, but it wouldn't quite link up. Yeah, that's dark. Medics initially thought she'd suffered a seizure with CT scans. Sorry, Eric Clapton's dead, kid. I really am.
Jesus Christ. No. No. No.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No.
Is it, what, too soon?
I'm kind of retarded.
Because he'd be in college by now.
Oh my God. Will you just read the article?
Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. Medics initially thought she'd suffered a seizure, but CT scans revealed there was the blood between her skull and her brain, showing she'd actually had a stroke. They diagnosed subarachnoid hemorrhage, an uncommon type of bleeding in the brain, but said it was only small in size. That's what she said.
It's not the size that
God.
matters.
It's not the size of the stroke. It's the motion of the kibbing.
You ever just stop for a minute and realize, like, we are,
No.
even if there is a God, like, we are so going to hell.
Oh, I have a theme park, like, just waiting for me. It's gonna be great. It's like, but I love when you open a question. Do you ever stop and think? And no. No.
God damn it,
No, I
Andy.
don't. In a report, doctors acknowledged that sexual activity had been, quote, well described as a cause of blood vessels bursting because it increases blood pressure. I mean, keep in mind, Viagra was a heart medication before it turned into boner pills. They wrote, quote, older studies with artery monitoring during coitus. Fuck me. Oh my God. Can you imagine being invited to that study? It's like, what do you need? We got to hook a bunch of heart and brain monitors up to you, and we need you to just bang one of these nurses. Okay.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. As well as in heart rate is very liable to change, with particular rises during orgasm. The woman was revealed to be a regular smoker. Shame. Occasional drinker. Kind of shame for not drinking more. Asthmatic, and had suffered malaria in her brain in her 20s. What the fuck? But these are not directly linked to her stroke in the report. Now I'm just curious, is there a brain malaria outbreak in West London or something I'm not aware of?
I'm pretty sure, like, malaria in your brain could probably increase your risk of stroke. I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor, but holy shit, dude.
I'm not a doctor. Well, you're not a doctor. You just play one on YouTube.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much, kind of.
Well, I mean, you play one on YouTube to combat the people who play them in fake journals.
Hey, watch this thing.
If there's any way you can hear me, Kurt, buddy. I don't care that you really were some pansy. You're my own flesh and blood, and no, you made me proud. My son's a homosexual, and I love him. I love my dead gay son.
Okay, Jeff, I'm sorry, but we need to clip that. We need to clip "I love my dead gay son," and that's like $5 or below. So if you want to get Alex Jones, you got to get up to 10. You guys go ahead and smash one if you want to see. If you want that to be your new instant gratification for tiny little tips. Tiny little tips, and you can tell everyone how you love your dead gay son with tiny little tips.
It's not the size of the tips that matter, okay? It's
not the size of the dead gay son that matters. It's how dead he is.
That's not what I was saying. Oh my god, I'm never getting into medical school at this point. Oh my god. Okay.
Your dream of being Patch Adams is now destroyed forever.
Jable says there's an ice cream truck in my neighborhood that plays Christmas music all summer long. However, they do have the best shit for the cheapest price. It's where I buy my crank from too. Addy Monster says I would like to receive one of these oral experiences, please. That can be arranged. Donnie says, it is strange that I enjoy anime, but I can't get off to hentai. I get hard to a good plot, and the hentai I've seen just doesn't have what I need. I really hope none of the baseball players I coach watch this, because I think they will lose respect for me. Look, here's the thing. The idea of getting brutally and viciously penetrated by tentacles into at least 4 of your orifices, figure out where the 4th one is. The idea of it is just really sexy, but then I see it in hentai and I'm like, it's kind of a turnoff.
So wait, hang on. The idea of it is hot until you see it done
animated
in a way animated by Japanese people.
And then you're like, Dad, no, just, just seems kind of sloppy to me. I don't know,
it's like yeah, you're just sitting at your desk and like you come across some like hentai tentacle porn. You're like, oh, baby, put the squid back in the freezer. We're not using it for that.
So just to let everybody know, it's about that time. If you guys want to, if you're new to this show, we do have a Discord. Link is on the description. Join into the Discord. Hop into the waiting room. We're going to pull people in about 5 minutes or so. We got one more article, but we're not going to do it now. We'll do it with somebody at some point. We'll randomly spring it on them. Surprise.
Yeah.
It
just kind of ties into the article, actually.
Yeah, actually, kind of.
This is the night of tie-ins. Listen, all because I got up 2.5 hours before the show was supposed to happen doesn't mean I didn't have everything firmly in mind.
Caligator with some biddies says this is why we can't have nice things. Agreed. I absolutely agree with you. This is legitimately the 100% reason why we cannot. This is from Del Hall, the guy who's doing the beer fest.
So first of all, I just want to start out this video by saying thanks so much. Today was like a whirlwind. So Channel 12 in Cincinnati aired this, my story, like 4 times yesterday. And that same news clip now has kind of gone viral, and it's been across the entire country. So I got messages from Oregon and LA and San Francisco. And
now you're getting one from the moon.
And Boston and New York and Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. It was so cool to see. Today has been kind of crazy. I've ended up doing like 15 different interviews with radio stations and with TV reporters and with newspaper reporters.
Here's a funny thing I just noticed. The framed picture off to the right there.
Yeah, I see that.
That's a label from Clown Shoes Brewing. He has a framed poster of a beer label because Clown Shoes is fucking awesome. I adore them.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's probably one of the Unidragons releases. But yeah, no, this guy is. You don't get more serious about your alcoholism than this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. I'm digging it.
It was on the first page of Fox News. It was actually published like in print in the Washington Post. This is nuts, and it's super cool to be a part of. Like tomorrow, I'm being interviewed by a radio station in Dublin, Ireland, which is crazy.
You.
I'm an Irish kid. This is awesome, you know. So this is great.
Irish.
But I want to say thank you so much to
You're a fucking fellow potato eater. All right, good for you, buddy.
Everyone out there that's reached out and supported me, that's followed me on YouTube, followed me on Instagram, followed me on Facebook. 90% of all the comments have just been 100% positive, and it's amazing to see. It makes me feel so good. You guys just keep the positive vibes coming. It really brightened my day today, and even though it was a super hectic day and lots of stuff going on, it was so cool to read all those comments. I'm trying.
Okay, so Nick, we have a mission. We have a mission right now, and honestly, Saints fam, you have a mission too. We got to figure out where Del Hall is located. We're not trying to dox him, but where in the country he is located.
Yeah,
if he is New England, Nick's gonna fucking find this guy and hang out with him. If he's Pacific Northwest, I'm gonna find him and hang out with him.
Well, hang on. What's the brewery that he's brewing at?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, I'll have to look it up. But yeah, no, I mean, it says in the article what brewery he's at. So you find out where that is, and you find out where he is.
All right. Let me see if I can figure it out. God!
I just found out.
Did you?
No, sorry. Ward of Demons said.
50 West Brewery in Dayton. Where's Dayton?
Ohio.
Oh, no, neither of us are near Ohio. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Fuck that idea.
But when I inevitably get my bus, I'll make sure to like stop off and be like, "Hey, man, did you know it's the Jewish high holiday of Yom Rishmapora? Really? Sure. Yeah, we sell. It's kind of like Purim.
Sharama ding dong. Yeah.
Well, you know about Purim, right?
Yeah, I know about Purim.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good time.
Purim's fun. Purim's a lot of fun. Okay, anyway, so let's grab somebody.
Just grab him by the
no. Oh god.
By the Discord handle. That's even
all right.
Worse.
I'm gonna be straight up honest with you here. Mouth. You gotta tell us some embarrassing stories about your brother again.
Mm.
Oh god.
Where to begin, right?
I got echo.
Call me Tit.
No, it's fine. Do you still have echo now?
Yeah, I gotta shut Twitch off.
Oh.
Now?
You're getting your own echo.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my problem. Oh, wait. We have to pause. Wait, hang on. We have to pause the show because Addy Monster is peeing. Somebody, we're all gonna take like a 10-minute break. No, I'm fucking serious. 10 seconds. 10-second break. 10-second break.
Hang on, does Addy Monster take 10 minutes or 10 seconds to take a piss?
10
I don't
seconds.
even know
I misspoke because I am drunk on whiskey. 10 seconds. We're going to give 10 seconds starting right now.
You guys might not know it, but that's actually why the drunken peasants actually take breaks.
That's not... It's a moment of silence so Addy can pee. We got to let her focus. 1. Oh, she's back. Okay, we can keep going.
There you go.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. All right. Sorry about that. Proceed, Mouth. Proceed. Tell us all about it. Good story.
He's
Good
gone.
story. Good story. It's a
Yeah,
good
he's
story,
gone.
Mouth. Good story. Appreciate that.
There was this one time my brother was supposed to do a thing and he just didn't show up.
You know, I have a lot of crazy stories actually about my brother. I don't like my biological brother. My biological brother is kind of an enormous piece of shit and has been for a long time. But he taught me some very important life lessons when I was growing up. He really did.
Kind of retarded.
Oh, Larry. I'll read that in just a second. Love you, buddy. So sweet of you.
It's a Twitter link.
We'll check that out in just a second. But so my brother had kind of a tough love kind of situation going on with me, which by which I mean he was so dissatisfied with his life, he liked to beat up his younger brother, who was 12 years younger than him, because when I was 6, he was 18.
Mouth, real quick, if you were dropped accidentally, just jump back in the waiting room. We'll pull you back in.
Yeah, just jump back in the waiting room and I'll pull you back in. So he decided, in his infinite wisdom, it keeps fucking dropping out. What the fuck? There we go. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Just focus on the story, Jeff.
Okay, so anyway, my brother is in his infinite wisdom. Yes, hello. So my brother in his infinite wisdom wants to try and help me as a young person to grow. And he's like, well, you're afraid of the dark, so I'm going to help you not be afraid of the dark. So he had a brilliant plan. My brother was a brilliant psychologist, so he took 5-year-old me and he locked me in a closet for 5 hours. And I got to tell you, not afraid of the dark anymore. Crippling anxiety and depression for the rest of my life, but yeah, that's not important. But I'm not afraid of the dark.
And then finally, when
fighting resentment for your brother.
Yeah, and then finally, also too, years later, when Jeff finally started a YouTube channel, he came out of the closet.
Yeah, with a vengeance. Oh my god.
Now
What the fuck is going on with you? So obviously.
I'm sorry. Are you on net zero internet right now? What's going on?
It's like, are you calling in using AT&T?
Second of all, hold on.
Is this smoke signal internet?
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's like somebody just upgraded their fucking audio card.
You actually sound like a fucking human being. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what? It's because I was on a wireless headset. I'm never prepared.
You never. Well.
Can you?
Yeah, let's just not do that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, it's like, hey guys, I'm the hottest new nature documentarian on YouTube. Oh fuck, I dropped my camera down a goddamn cliff.
Hey, you kids ever hear dubstep?
Wait, just hang on, he dropped out again, shit.
No, I fucking moved him. I was like, absolutely not.
Oh.
Let's try it again. Hello? Hello? Is it me?
Can you hear me?
Looking for?
Motherfuckers.
Mouth, make whatever noise you want, so long as he's gonna keep singing Adele.
Excuse me, it's Lionel Richie.
Oh.
So I actually have
Sorry, your tone of voice.
15.
15 brothers?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
This is like.
All right, you know what? Sort your shit out, man. We'll pull you back in later. All right.
I got a story about my brother.
Do you? Yeah. Here, let's hear it. Let's hear it before we pull.
All right. Well, no, this one is this speaks to what kind of man my brother is. So he builds cars. He's always loved building and rebuilding cars. He had himself he got a Mitsubishi Eclipse for $100 one time, and just was rebuilding it. He's a young guy. He's before he was even 20, and he gets it rebuilt. No seatbelts, no airbags, no safety features. It's still in process, but we had to go to our grandmother's funeral, which took place on Memorial Day weekend down on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. So we drive down from Manchester. We go through the funeral, surrounded by a bunch of people saying, "I'm very sorry for your loss," even though we really barely knew the woman and didn't know any of those people. After that, awkward shit. We get back on the highway. We're driving back up. We're coming up on 93 North, which in Manchester, between the towns of Londonderry and Manchester, is just a tiny little 2-lane highway that is expected to fit modern congestion at modern speed. So you've got packed traffic all in both lanes, all somehow moving 65, 70. This smoking Jeep Wrangler up in front of us we see, and we're coming up, and for some reason the right lane's moving faster than the left. Well, we're trying to get ahead of them, but behind them is this Buick Skylark. And this guy was drunk as fuck. We could see him swerving all in his lane and shit. And then we get about this far up, and then we get about this far up, and this is the drunkie. He decides to swerve into our lane. Tommy, my brother, he's got great reflexes, pulls the wheel. We get into the breakdown lane while Dickhead takes over our spot and then somehow gets ahead of us. But just as we're about to recorrect, we hit the rumble strip, which kicks the car's ass end out just a little bit. So we end up clipping onto the guardrail. And as we clip onto the guardrail, that actually sends us into a spin across 2 lanes of traffic. So we are horizontal across 2 lanes of 70-mile-an-hour traffic as we smash into the other.
Christ.
As we smash into the other guardrail with the nose, fortunately, this was like a 92, 93 Eclipse, so it had that crumple zone. That crumpled nicely. We bounce off that guardrail and continue our spin all the way around until we're once again horizontal across both lanes of traffic facing the outside of the highway. I watch as 2 cars pass around the front of us, and then I see one more get around the back. I look out the passenger side window. I see an entire line of traffic come to screeching halts where the cars are moving in all different directions, coming to rest about 3 feet from my door. Mind you, no seatbelts, no airbags. So when we went into the spin, my first instincts was like I threw my arm out across my brother and I threw my other one up on the dash, just like, all right, brace myself and keep my brother safe. When we hit that guardrail, hand lurched forward, wedged my fingers under the windshield and the dash, causing my middle finger, just this one, to be damaged slightly. So that when we get out of this car, and all traffic is stopped, and a bunch of people are running up to us, there was actually people running up to us with blankets, because apparently that's just what they think you do in an emergency, is you give someone a blanket, and you're like, you're fine,
no,
you're
everything's fine. Just here, have a blanket. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, so we go through all of that. They help us push the car off into the breakdown
Wouldn't it be
lane.
great if somebody gets divorced, they come out of divorce court, and they just get a blanket put around them?
That was my plan if I was going to be a divorce lawyer. I was just going to be like, well, we lost. Here.
Let's put a blanket over them and shit.
So Tommy's standing there with a blanket around his shoulders, not even sure why it's happening. Meanwhile, like we get the car pushed off the highway by like the dozen people who ran up to see what happened and try and help. Meanwhile, traffic's backed up for a good 2 miles because it was just bumper to bumper the whole way. Get the car pushed off. State troopers show up, pick the wreckage of the car up on a flatbed, take it away. Tommy and I, luckily, because we had about 2 or 3 miles left to go before our exit, but we lived in an apartment complex, which was literally just off the side of the highway, and we crashed exactly where that was. So we just hopped the fence real quick and walked home. Sitting there and like, still alive? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still alive. All right, good. Thanks for keeping me alive. They ended up billing him $400 for the guardrail.
Wow. Only $400 though. That's not that bad.
It wasn't his fault, actually, like, because when the trooper started saying he'd have to pay for it, and 3 of the people who'd pulled off and pulled over to help us, who were witnesses to what happened and the fact that we got run off the road, started screaming at this guy, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We all gave you statements. He's like, I can't prove any of that.
Calligator says, this is why we can't have nice things. Also says, just a reminder for those watching, we have a smoky room poker and dice after the show in gaming on the Discord. Y'all fuckers show up, I have beer ready for it. Indeed, we will have adult games and gambling inside the Discord once the show is over. Larry Kubiak, our good buddy, says, here's an interesting one. Combine both cancer into one, weeb and communism. So this is gonna be kind of a confusing one. I sent you a DM on Twitter, Nick.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna have to synchronize. But first, I'm gonna look at the top tweet. Fuck you, laser crab. That's the laser crab apparently. This yokai is like an incarnation of unfair exploiting capitalism.
I can't watch it. I am blocked by this individual.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's weird. All right, well that's the laser crab. So you just have to. It's 1 minute and 24 seconds for this video, so you'll just have to let us play it so we can hear it. Capital by the great Sensei Marx. She is scanning the works of Karl Marx right now in real anime time. This is amazing. And this is the laser crab. Marx beam!
This is exactly what I've been trying to talk about for a long time now. Neo-anime Marxists.
Tell me all about it, Professor Peterson.
It's all just, I mean, all of anime, including the live-action anime, is all postmodernism because it came after what we used to call modern, which was when we made our wives stay in the goddamn kitchen where they belonged and provide us with the babies that we deserve. Now, we could solve all of this incel violence and all of this incel ISIS terrorism simply by mandating that, the pussy be redistributed in much in the way that original Marx, not neo-Marx, described in his book.
I have to know how the fuck Larry Kubiak finds these fucking things. I swear to God, man.
I'm wondering how the fuck why the fuck I'm blocked and neither of you are. I don't know what this individual is or what I did to them.
I don't know.
Or maybe they're siblings or parents. Who knows?
Right, here we go. It's almost over. Kanye?
The weirdest Filthy Frank sketch I've ever seen.
Some young people with a Marx beam has no effect. Use this. The manga version of The Capital. With this, also the pressure-free education. Kanji illiterate can understand it. Okay, fuck, hang on.
That's how they're trying to get the kids now. They're trying to get them with the animes and the mangoes.
Simple Marx beam! For all the people who can't get Marx at like that intellectual level, let's just retweet this real quick with let's see. What's a good tweet for this? This is just more important than
tag Jordan Peterson.
Bitching about movies at
it's
Jordan.
capitalist lobster versus communist laser crab.
This is more important than bitching about movies at Jordan Peterson. There you go. All right.
Yes, this is the thing. It's Marxist crab. He doesn't have the same drive as capitalist lobster.
Nailed it. Great success. Okay, so we got to move fast. So Jable says, just a reminder, I'll be hanging out in tech support in the Discord to help people that are having issues or think they might have issues before going on the show. Jables, you're a fucking genius and a wonderful.
I love how we have like an IT department now.
He's a sweetheart. This is just so I'm ahead of Rimshee and Mr. Tickle Trunk in the Streamlabs rankings. Oh my God. All right, anyway, I'm pulling somebody in. Let me roll. We're going to try you again in a minute, Mouth. But, yeah, you just really bothered me. You know what's really funny? I wanted to get this person in, and I was like, if I don't roll this person by the end of the night, like our last one, I think I'll just pull them in anyway, and they just won the roll, so there we go. But you're going to have to meet the stream, though, Meowski.
Oh shit! No, sorry. I had to mute it real quick because I have you guys on my phone and then I have you guys playing on the computer. So I muted the
getting
computer.
twice as many.
So I hope I don't get irritating.
You can't handle 2 doses of Saints at the same time. That's terrible.
I know my heart is racing right now.
Back home, what the fuck?
I had to take a few hits off of a bong and take a little bit of a truly break. So
I guess we can speak openly about this. The big secret.
Mm-hmm.
Meowski is actually a fucking exceptional bowler.
I wouldn't say exceptional. So the story behind it is, I worked at a fucking sex shop and I would, close at 2 a.m. and then I would go to a 24/7 bowling alley and I would just fucking throw down the line for hours. And I eventually started talking to people who actually played League. And so they taught me the 3-step bowling process, which I discovered was very good. And if you finish your throw follow through, that generally tends to be the best way to kind of bowl. And that's how I just kind of kept learning.
No shit. Okay. No, but this is actually kind of a fascinating origin story for what I perceived. Well, I perceived personally as like a bowling superhero because you did way better than me. So
Well, you got that 130 though. You got that 130, and that was really close. So
yeah,
you're
the
5
130 was
points off.
is not my best. It's not my, but the thing is, like, from your first throw, you did great. I take a while to get warmed up because I'm old and I'm crusty and nothing works really well anymore. You know, you got to get the beer in you to like lubricate your joints, otherwise you're all creaky. It's weird. It's gross. It's what happens to men. Anyway.
I don't know. It might happen to women too once they hit postmenopause. You know, they
No,
start drying up.
No,
no.
they're
Post-menopause, you start having strokes.
Yeah, well,
That too.
women are lubricated with spite and hate, so it's you have a biological advantage. Wow, that sounded so MGTOW. Holy shit.
A little bit.
That wasn't funny at all. Anyway, so
Well, no, it's okay. There's already a married MGTOW out there. You can just team up with him.
well,
Dina.
check out.
Dina's.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, for those who needed the joke
no.
explained.
No, I don't know. Oh, can I? Okay, all right. So anyway, so you have to deal with the trials and tribulations of working at a sex shop, which I've had 3 girlfriends who worked at sex shops. And then you get off work and you're lucky enough to have a 24-hour bowling alley, so you just get your frustrations out from the job by rolling balls. So my question for you is, what is your most hilarious sex shop story?
Oh Lord. There's quite a few really hilarious ones, but I think the one that kind of sticks out to me is for this guy that we dubbed Blues Clues because he used to wear a green striped sweater. We eventually got, yeah, we got nicknames for people who would come into the store. And so this guy, who was a major fucking creep, he would follow our customers around, he would follow employees around, and he would try hitting on them. So my assistant manager ended up showing me who the guy was, and we used to be able to take hour lunch breaks. And so we had this massive thing called the Liberator Zeppelin, and it's essentially this massive bean bag that you can fuck on. And
Nice.
yeah, the Liberator Zeppelin. It's like a $600 sex toy ramp thing. Anyway, so I'm sitting on this Liberator ramp, and he comes over. He crosses his arms, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Man, the sex shop, it's kind of hot." I was like,
You
"All
must
right."
have been. It must have been fucking Niagara Falls after a line like that.
Oh
Good
yeah, and
God.
so he turns to me, and he goes, "Yeah, you're kind of hot too." And I'm sitting there on my phone and I'm like, "Oh, good Lord, this is really happening." And so he sits there, he goes, you're pretty hot in this store yourself. Do you work here?" And I was like, "Uh-huh, yeah." And I just like get on my phone and I call someone, and I totally was just like bullshitting, but was like, "How are you doing, honey?" And the look of defeat on this man's face as I just completely ignored him and he walked away. My assistant manager comes over and she goes, "What did you just do? He looked like he was about to cry." I was like, "I just called someone on the phone and just started acting like I was with them." And it just completely deflated his ego. But it was
Missed,
hilarious because nobody has gotten clues to leave them alone before, besides moi.
missed opportunity. I feel missed opportunity. So you're sitting there on this giant fuck bag, this giant fuck bag, bean bag, yeah, just kind of lounging, like checking your Instagram, and like you could have used that as a perfect time to like argue, like we need to go into a commission basis. To be like, why? Like, oh, do you work here? No, I just like hanging out on furniture, waiting for studs like you, but I simply can't get turned on unless you throw down like $700 on that laser dildo.
Hey,
Yeah.
we did have to meet sales quotas, though. It was a very fast-paced sale.
See, you
But I
could
do
have
have
made
a
a
really
sale.
creepy story.
You could have made a sale if simply you did what everyone in retail does, which is just bury your dignity in the backyard and forget it ever existed.
Fair.
Addy Monster. Wait, what, the laser? Wait, the make laser dildos? Yeah, they make. I don't know if they make laser dildos. I
Laser
mean,
They
it's,
make
these are.
LED line dildos that shine like a fucking disco ball.
I think everybody needs to just take a moment, go over to Twitter real quick, and tweet to Elon Musk asking when we can expect proper laser dildos. Because if he's stoned enough, he'll see it and he'll be like, "Yeah, that's a good idea," and he'll just send out a bunch of emails to his like R&D teams, like, "We need to do this now."
He's got
Wait,
a team
what?
of
No.
engineers where he's like, I have this really fucking weird idea.
Yeah.
We guys like make this thing actually fucking happen. I have a lot of money.
It's like, listen, I mean, now I can say that, now that I can say that my companies make all kinds of rockets.
Well, it's funny because he made a joke about like genetically engineering cat girls or whatever, and I tweeted him. I was like, "I am first in line, motherfucker. Make me a goddamn Nekomi. I fucking dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker."
They
Sure.
just they just end up feeding you into a machine which makes like the protein bars from Snowpiercer, and they just reconstitute you like a house cat that knows how to do basic math.
Ah, that'd be awesome.
So you had another creep ass story though, no?
Yeah, so there was this other time though, and it was at the same place, and for whatever reason, I don't mind name dropping 'cause it's not like Hustler Hollywood for whatever reason. Maybe it's the fact that, it's the Hustler magazine, it's connected to a porn brand, but we used to get a lot of creepy motherfuckers in. Like, we have more creepy stories than we do hilarious, unfortunately. And there was this guy who came in and he had passport, no ID, and a whole bunch of other weird shit. But he came into the store and he started asking us, he was like, "Hey, do you know where I can buy some escorts or whatever?" And me and my assistant manager look at each other and we're like, no. I mean, if you go to a strip club, maybe you're bound to find something, But he kept trying to buy me, and he kept, like, pointed outside, and he pointed to like this fucking Toyota Prius as stupid enough, and he was
Was
like,
his name
"I just
Harvey
bought."
Weinstein?
It might have been, except he was a small Asian man from Japan, apparently.
Oh, so it was R. Kelly. Okay.
And so he comes in and he comes in for like the next 3 days, and he just keeps acting weird. And every single time he kept trying to buy me. He kept saying, "Oh, I bought this brand new Prius for 20,000. I actually live in Japan. This is my passport." And it really freaked me the fuck out. And it got to a point where I had to contact my store manager, and ask a guy friend to come to the store because he kept stalking me, and I had to go hide in the back because he kept like coming around, seeing when I was working. Apparently early in the day, because I always work the night shift, he came there trying to see if I was there in the morning, and eventually figured out I worked nights. And it was just this really creepy fucking story, and it finally
Gross.
came to a head when he came and he was, gonna try to proposition me again. And my manager and the dude I asked chased him to his hotel down the street, got his fucking license plate number, but the dude didn't fucking exist. I ended up taking his temporary tags, his name off of the passport, and I looked for this guy as hard as I could, but he didn't fucking exist. Full citizenship, and he constantly went back and forth business, and it was the weirdest fucking thing. But thankfully, I managed to escape out of that situation unscathed because
It's like a
my manager scared the living hell out of him.
it's
So
That's
like
good.
it's like a classic
yeah.
espionage novel though, It's like Meowski and the Spy who creep me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
Meow.
was just more worried I'd become one of those statistics of one of
God,
those girls that went to Japan and suddenly was shipped off to Thailand as a fucking sex
oh,
prostitute or
that's
whatever.
probably what would have happened. But my thinking on
Yeah.
the whole thing is like listening, like rethinking about the way you told that story. If I actually put John Oliver in place of that creepy guy, it gets even funnier. I like that. Yeah.
So
So work in a sex shop, it's not all dildos and roses, apparently.
no,
Right.
and I actually just ended up recently quitting my other one because I'm wanting to pursue other, kind of more
Some men are big as
exciting
muffins, Jeff.
yeah, something to actually make my life out of as a talk at
Excuse me, I just
fucking
need to
people.
move this thing over. Oh, can you hold that on your lap real quick, if you don't mind? There
Do
we
what?
go. Oh no, it's just Jeff is just I'm just adjusting. Jeff's helping me adjust myself.
Mm,
Yeah, but
sounds
yeah,
good.
no, I can understand though with all those kind of creepy stalker, harasser, weirdo types who show up at a sex shop. I can understand how you'd need to like Lebowski that stress out when you're done.
hmm
Sure.
I even
That
went
makes
to
sense.
I went to a military surplus store because Joint Base Lewis McChord is right close, and I ended up getting this can of pepper spray that would essentially turn your perp into a Smurf because it had this glue in it that it would stain the person's skin. So if you ended up spraying them with pepper spray, not only would they be blinded for a good period of time, but they would also be blue, so the police could find them easier. Military grade.
It's like, can you describe the suspect? Well, he had a shaved head, so right now he looks a bit like Dr. Manhattan with an unaddressed erection.
Indeed. No, I mean that makes total sense to me. So Meowski, anything you want to show, promote, put out there into the world, something for us to check out? Favorite channel, maybe?
Honestly, right now it's the YouTube Saints, and I don't really have anything to shill, so I'm just gonna say I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on. I love you guys, and thank you so much, and you guys have officially become my favorite YouTubers of all time. So
Oh, fucking shucky ducky. Well, you know what? I want a rematch next time you come down this way, and we're gonna bowl, and we're gonna see who is in fact the master blaster. All right.
just one-on-one, we'll see who's the champ.
One
I can
on
do
one.
that.
One on one. Absolutely. Loser has to buy dinner. All right. See you later
Okay.
next time.
See ya.
Okay. So where are
Congratulations on the Oscar again.
Oh, I mean, I just which Oscar?
Dallas Buyers Club. No, I'm talking about the one where he played in AIDS
he
patients.
just recently won another one, didn't he?
Oh, was that Free State of Jones?
IMDb, Matthew McConaughey.
Do you have an Oscar? No. You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
No, I want to see if he actually.
Was it Free State of Jones? I think it might have been Free State of Jones.
I don't know if it was Free State of Jones, was it?
Because guess who knows somebody who was his best friend in that movie, huh?
Who?
Dude, that was Chris. You've seen Free State of Jones, right?
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The smaller dude with the longer hair, was like his right hand man. Yeah, that was my roommate again.
No shit. What the fuck?
No, that's the bitch about like having fucking chill with the dude as long as we did, and like fucking live with him for a while. It's like now I can't watch movies. Like every other movie comes up, and I'm like, yeah. Fuck you, Chris Berry. Really? I get Spider-Man: Homecoming, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I guess
okay.
maybe he didn't win
I did
anything
Ascendant
else.
3 years ago.
Maybe he only got one for Dallas Buyers Club, unless I'm like totally missing it. I'm trying to find it now, but
my agent was actually in that one too.
You know what? McConaughey is not cool enough to hang out with us. But
no, we need to get Skeet Ulrich up in this bitch.
Skeet fucking Ulrich.
Yeah, because he's gonna make a comeback, especially after Amber Heard's done disassembling Johnny Depp.
Okay, you know what? We got to talk about the Johnny Depp situation. Like, here's the thing. Johnny Depp has been exonerated. He obviously was not a serial abuser. So I wholeheartedly am happy that Johnny Depp is not going to go to jail for some bullshit domestic abuse that he did not commit. However, I personally think that Johnny Depp should be Johnny Depp. Yeah, no, fucking Johnny Depp. John Depp should be imprisoned for the rest of his life for what he did to Willy Wonka.
Yeah. What
That's a hate crime.
Does that make Tim Burton an accessory?
Yeah, no, he should be jailed for life too. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, honestly though, that's why these days
Jonathan Depardieu. That's right.
On Twitter, I now go as exonerated Johnny Derp, which is who I am. Johnny Derp. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can use the same low-res glasses, and all I need is a few scarves and bracelets, and then I could really make it work, I think.
Rimshee says, so everyone knows if you have issues or think you're going to have issues with audio, it doesn't matter if someone is in the tech support channel. If you hop in there, someone will hop in. If they don't right away, just tag the mods. Indeed. Uncle Donnie says, sorry, but my parents went to bed, so no talking straight to my parents tonight. Anyways, do you guys do call-ins at the end of the week, Saints? Because I'll be home alone then. We'll need some drinks to talk to. We don't. Not on the Friday show. Only on midweek.
Yes, no. Also, the notion that you'll be home alone without your parents makes it a very dodgy situation.
Yeah, just send me your address and your code to your security system.
Precarious places. I mean, if you can find it, just give me all of the numbers on your mom's debit card.
Hello.
And I'll be able to buy more wine.
Hello.
Ah, hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hellos.
Okay, so this is second butt of the joke. Hello, second butt of the joke. How are you?
Oh, jeez. My name is still that. Okay. It's Topaz, but hi.
It's Topaz.
Hello.
I love it. Like this is almost like we're making up for having Karen Strawn on International Women's Day last Friday by having a bunch of women in mouth.
Whamming.
I guess it works.
No, we got the serious gender equality going on here. I like it.
We do.
Yeah.
We actually, you know what? Here's the thing that most people don't really understand about the show is most live shows, the gender demographics are very heavily skewed towards men. At least people who do like the kind of YouTube that we do, and that I can only assume is because they're a bunch of cucks.
Well, that's why I keep pulling my collar open, you see.
Whereas we are 57% female audience because we are woke to the women and we're down with the estrogen vibe, man. Like it's cool.
Yeah. Like lactation in public, it's been a central theme with the show.
I do it every day.
Exactly. Did you know you can milk a cat? Christ, now I'm ripping off Ben Stiller. All right, I'm retiring. Officially.
If you're ripping up Ben Stiller.
Officially retiring. I'm making jokes as bad as Ben Stiller. All right.
We have to peacefully sunset you into tomorrow.
It's just old yeller me, man.
Anyway, so second butt of the joke. Should I call you second butt or joke?
I guess for now it will be joke.
Joke. Okay, so joke. How in the world is your week going? How is the week that was of joke?
It was pretty good. Yeah, I basically came to this name because Rimshee decided to troll the server.
No,
he does.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of my week. That and then with Women's Day, it was ironic because I was doing laundry all day. So.
What's manji?
Laundry.
Laundry.
It's this ancient Japanese rite, Jeff. It's where you sacrifice a goat to the god of plenty. I read it in one of those mango comics.
There's a gutter
comics. Yes.
There's a gutter punk joke in there too, like, oh, you don't know what laundry is? Ho 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 ho.
Well, you don't.
Well, I mean, okay, if we're being fair though, I did laundry on International Women's Day as well. But what did International Women's Day mean for you? Like, was it a thing that you thought about?
I mean, I didn't even really realize it until people started mentioning it, so no.
But in fairness,
I'll be honest with you.
by virtue of having a vagina all day, you were celebrating.
I guess that works.
I wasn't paying attention to most of what was said, so I'm going to assume your name on the show is Double Butt now, right? Double,
sure.
Bumble, Trouble. Yeah, it's all good. It's fucking fantastic.
Well,
but I love the fact. This is a bit of irony that was not lost to me when it happened. I do love the fact that we got to spend the first half hour, roughly, of our International Women's Day show just like trading recipe tips with like the most prominent female MRA in the world. It's like, hey Karen,
That was
happy
pretty- that was
International
pretty
Women's
great.
Day. Let's talk about working in the kitchen, shall we?
I mean, well, okay. Here's the thing though that kind of gets me about International Women's Day. Like, the thing is if you want to have a day that celebrates like super strong women, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think there's a problem with it at all. In fact, I would even say it's a good thing. Because I mean, like in our society of like perpetual ebbing and flowing of wokeness, you know, certain things where we think this is what's going to be important. No, actually, now this is important. What is the mitigating circumstances of what is the most woke? If you're going to do something like International Women's Day, there's nothing wrong with that because there have been some pretty fucking badass women throughout fucking history. And it's cool to like step back and think about history and think about how hardcore a woman can be. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fine. It's just for the most part the people who make the most noise about it are people whose biggest achievements will be lots of retweets on Twitter. And that
Yeah.
but I mean, like, you know, how many people how many people fuck do we have now? 7 billion, getting close to 8 billion people on the planet. How many people are really going to achieve like international, if not historical fucking greatness? It's very, very rare.
For my part, I felt like I really dropped the ball on International Women's Day, given that I only know local women. So all those refugees and immigrants, I'm sorry I didn't spend the time honoring your sacrifice by having a vagina and being from somewhere. It's International Women's Day. I mean, I want to hear like local basic Becky Bitch Day. That's what I want. Where like you got to celebrate all the chicks who think that wearing Victoria's Secret pink pajama pants and hoodies to the bank every day to turn in the pennies you found in your sofa.
Well,
like those are the women, those are the Beckys we need to be honoring.
Okay. Okay. Before I launch into my tirade, though, so second part of the joke, what off the top of your head, do you have a historical figure in womanhood that you find very empowering, or somebody that you took a lot of inspiration from?
See,
Mary, Queen of Scots, maybe?
there are two people. Goodness, there are two people that come to mind. The second I can't remember the name of, but Maria Curie. She's the one. She did a bunch of work with uranium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So working with radioactive chemicals, unfortunately, it was the cause of her death. But
modern nuclear science is on the back of the work by Marie Curie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who was the second one?
She's a lot more recent. She's working to try and get Islam reformed.
Ayan
Hirsi Ali.
Yes.
Yes,
hero.
Dude.
Goddamn
I
champion.
am. I'm a big fan of Ayan Hirsi Ali. She's a stud.
Whoa, wait a second. Hang on. Sorry, I've just noticed it in the chat. There was a back and forth. So apparently, like, there was a bunch of people who unsubscribed because we had Karen on.
Really?
Apparently. And Jables responded to Canuck saying they're assholes. It's one guest, one night. They could have just skipped the episode, but they decided to be reactionary assholes and probably behaving the same way that they criticize other people for acting when they quit supporting something they support. YouTube saying this is important, so I hope you read this out. And I did.
Well, let's put this. Let's be honest. Let's get this down to brass tacks. If we have a guest on that's contentious, and if you guys take some umbrage towards it, like I'll apologize if you take some umbrage towards it because it is our platform. It's our responsibility. But at the same time, the statements by other people who are involved in the show are not necessarily reflecting of the statements that we ourselves make.
That's to say, yeah. I mean, think about who we've had on. I mean, like, think of who we've had on this show. We've had Jim, oh my God, I have a health crisis when things are getting hairy. Mediker on here.
We've had
we had Mr. Race Worski on before.
Yeah.
Ian Miles, I am a rudderless political sailboat.
And I
Chong.
swat people, Chong. Yeah,
Swatter
no.
fucking Chong.
We've
Yeah,
had
you know what?
we've had a lot of people on that we don't agree with.
Yeah, you might not have noticed this. You might not have noticed this. We're not exactly the biggest fucking show on the internet. And when it comes to at the time, and here's the other weird thing about the ebb and flow of internet relationships, people a lot of times you find people are well, not what they pretend to be. You find out that they're fake ass douchebags. So somebody you thought was cool turns out actually to be a bit of a cunt. Well, it happens. I mean, I look back over the catalog of guests and shows that we've had here, and half of the people from, let's say, the first year we were doing this, I would not just not want on the show again. I don't fucking like them, but we keep the show up. Now, when it comes to Karen Strawn, you know what? I've got very fundamental disagreements about things with Karen Strawn too, and that's part of what makes being friends with her fun, is because I can actually have an argument with her and we won't walk away salty about it.
We actually for it was at least 2, maybe even 3 hours after the show was over last Friday. We're hanging out with Karen, and we just did not stop. We were fucking debating and arguing and talking about shit. Like, we disagreed on tons of shit. But at the end of the night, when we said goodnight, we were still friends because we still love Karen. We love Karen, and even if we don't agree.
And that's part of what makes someone like Karen Strawn like valuable in a sense, right? Is because it's like there are loads of people right now on the internet, and I can think of a few people who think just bitching about She-Ra is worth fucking 2.5 hours of content on the internet. Now these people, right? Now there are people who will express to you very sincere conviction about a thing, so long as it's trending. Karen Strawn is not one of those people. Karen will never back down from an argument, but she'll also never hold it personally against you if you disagree. It's the nature of the thing, and part of the reason that, like I say, and I think I could speak for Jeff here, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Part of the reason we as a show like and respect Karen, in addition to the fact that she's just a goofy fucking awesome human being when you get to know her, is also the fact that, like, she's not expressing popular opinions so she can get views and clicks.
And
she's expressing
regardless of whether or not you agree with her, that makes her a genuine person.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This is why people like Matt Christensen. I can't think of a single thing I agree with that dude.
But I like him.
But I like him, and I like him because when he says his piece, that's what he really fucking means.
I should message that guy. I should get him on the show.
This isn't like it's funny because we could have gotten Candace fucking Owens on the show, and a whole bunch of slack-jawed retards would have been like, "Oh, can't wait to hear her talk about how he's going to fight Idpol." No, I
don't want to talk about Karen. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I want to talk about Joke. I want to talk about Joke.
About Double Butt. Sorry, you got to use that name, otherwise.
Double Butt of the Joke. So second butt of the Joke. What is your most contentious of fandom? Like somebody that you like that is just so spicy that most people are like, I don't think I'd be cool with that.
That's a hard one, especially since I haven't really been keeping up internet-wise.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
Christ.
We have to live
life
our lives
has just
on this
been a pain.
Oh no.
I can't really think of anyone, so I guess I'll just go into life things. I moved from Louisiana up to Washington recently.
Oh yeah?
You did the anti-TJ Kirk?
I guess so.
That's specifically
Is this your first time in the Pacific Northwest?
Yes.
Well, welcome. It's amazing up here. Is this going to be your first summer?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
You are going to I don't want to break the fucking spoiler for you, but you are going to fall in love this summer with the Pacific Northwest. You are going to absolutely lose your shit this summer in the Pacific Northwest, and you will never ever leave. If you leave, you'll always come back. You get the fucking virus now.
It's the opposite of New England.
What
like
part,
you don't even
part
have
of
to
Washington?
come here to hate it.
Like what general area? I mean, are you
That's
Seattle,
like
Tacoma,
like
Olympia?
around Seattle area.
Oh
Seattle,
yeah. Oh
Tacoma
my
area.
God. No,
Yeah.
as soon as it gets warm, you are going to fall in love with this whole fucking area, and you're never actually gonna leave.
Jeff will bring you out to the sand dunes, which he keeps talking about.
Yeah, dude, the sand dunes are fucking rad. Good.
See, I've heard it gets extremely hot during the summer though.
It
So
does.
That's
But wait,
what summer does.
you're from where? Louisiana?
Louisiana. Yeah.
No.
So as long as the humidity isn't as bad up here, which it shouldn't be, hopefully, I think I'll survive it.
I've never been to the Northwest, but I could say like comparing like because it gets weirdly humid where I live in the summer, right? Now in the North, right, it's like the kind of humidity you get in the North in general is general like surface humidity, whereas in like Louisiana, it's humid even in the winter. So it can be
Yeah.
cold. It could be like 35, 40 degrees, which isn't that cold, but it's still humid. So all your pores open up and that cold gets in your bones. No, in the North, you just feel miserable and frozen on the outside. And then you realize, wow, I got a bunch of warm, squishy shit inside of me, like organs and shit. That's how I rationalize it.
All right, so all I'm gonna say is real quick before we start to wrap is welcome to the Pacific Northwest. You're gonna love it. This is gonna blow your fucking mind. And at some point, real soon, I'll be up in the Seattle area doing a big thing with DP, and then you'll get to meet some of the Saints fam as well. There's a lot of kids from the community that live all up in the Seattle area. We'll all get together. We'll all go out for drinks. We'll have a grand old time.
Yeah, I'm hoping, especially since so my 21st birthday is coming up in November, so that'll be fun. I'm hoping to meet up with a bunch of people, have fun, party.
I'll tell you what, if you give me a warning when your 21st birthday is, I will do my damnedest to come up there and help make sure your 21st is a nightmare that you will never wake up from. I mean,
nightmare I will never wake up.
I meant a memorable experience that you will cherish for the rest of your life. That's what I meant.
Yeah. You'll just need to provide proof of insurance before he shows up.
That's right. That's 2 forms of ID and maybe your insurance card.
2 forms of ID, proof of insurance, and what do you know about like the Part D? Never mind. Listen,
nah, it's not important. It's not important. Anyway, second butt of the joke. Thank you so much for being on. Anything you want to show, promote, or put out there? What's your favorite YouTube channel?
You don't have to say it. It's fine.
I'm going to show Locked and Loaded because that was fun. We do Monday nights.
I'm actually familiar with them.
Okay.
Yes.
If you get a chance to, will you send me their YouTube URL through a private message in Discord?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good talking.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
So before you'll burn through the last of what we got, I'm just going to give away what these last 2 headlines actually were. Yeah, there was a barbershop apparently in, they don't say. Oh, there it is. No, it's still, Corpus Christi. Yeah. So if you go into Fade Away Barbershop in Corpus Christi and they give you their card after your haircut, they're going to give you a condom with it. And they're going to say, you're going to need this with how good you look. Except they staple a fucking condom to the card. So maybe don't use that condom. Just a hint.
Wait, they stapled the condom to the... Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And also, and just real quick, Philippine president used the word bitch to refer to women at a gender equality event. This is our good buddy Rodrigo Duarte.
From the Philippines,
From the Philippines. Philippine President Rodrigo Duarte addressed a group of women as bitch on Monday during an award ceremony highlighting the work of female military and police. Well, it's good to see things are just churning along in the Philippines.
So we're going to roll again, and also, Mouth, if you got all of your shit figured out, I don't know if Mouth is actually still out there or not. If Mouth got his shit figured out, we'll drag him after this next person, but I have a feeling that he just kind of fucked off, but we'll see.
I don't see him there.
Yeah, I don't see him. We'll see. Maybe he'll pop back up. 1, 2. Ooh, shit. Oh, my God. I'm so glad we're getting... Oh, my God. Rimshee.
Oh, yeah, Rimshee.
Rimshee actually has to hang on us for a second while I read our Streamlabs, but I just wanted to get him in before I did.
That works. I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Rimshee actually said, Jeff, check your DMs. How am I both number 5 or number 4 and number 10 or hashtag number 9? Because you're trying to figure out what exactly was the ranking stats for Streamlabs. I don't know what that means, to be honest. Addy Monster says, I am drunk. We got pizza, and also I want to have sex with the pizza. I think send help. Oldie is bad stuff, man. Stay in school. Yeah, no, probably a good idea. Tickle Truck says, this just in, I'm changing my name to Pizza. Also, someone come and get me out of this useless meeting I'm stuck in. Oh, Addy Monster. You're going to have to tackle the Tickle Trunk. That's just how these things work. Donnie says, damn, anyways, I'm out to take a shower, shave my balls, and get ready to watch me some anime before going to bed. Priorities in action there, buddy.
I love it when we get a summation of the episode like that. That's great.
I know. Take the getting ready part however you want. Got to get up early tomorrow for coaching morning practices. And Native Monster says, I personally like when a show gets people I don't agree with on the show, humanize them to me, make me see past their opinions, challenge my ideas of who they might be, which I've colored with my own bias about their opinion. No, good call.
No, that's not colored bias. That's bias of color.
Sounds racist. And Larry Kubiak says, the quick one that I've replayed all day for some reason is Jim Carrey mastering the ancient art of weeb memes. Rimshee, are you there, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Yes, Slay Queen. All right, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. Actually,
Tickle Truck is watching with no sound right now.
Oh no, God! I hope we're animated. Holy fuck! Be terrible if he's like looking at us and we're like being very boring. We have to start animating ourselves.
Listen,
like,
I'm just dressed like a guy from the '90s who wants you to know the value of a timeshare.
Hey, my name is Hard Dickinson, and I want you to invest in this timeshare. All right?
It's the most fucking communist vacation plan I've ever heard of.
Okay, so I sent you a link in Discord there, Rimshee.
All right, looking at it.
Oh, yeah, Christ.
Okay.
Are we looking over something here?
We're going to look at what Larry sent us.
Oh, Larry always sends the best.
Yeah, no, I know.
That just makes my day.
Larry is a purveyor of amazing shit. So I'm really excited about this. All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if Nick is.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
What did I just
watch? Hang on. I think I blinked and I missed a little bit of that.
I swear to Christ, if I see this on Lawai, I'm going to be like, we got it first.
Get your entries in the subreddit, bros.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I really shouldn't have stopped following Dragon Ball when I did. That's all I'm going to say.
It looks so realistic.
Oh my God. The graphics are just so fucking photorealistic. It's amazing. So Rimshee, you were with us last night. That was really interesting.
That was. The one dude was just always angry.
Pillbox. There was a man named
Pillbox.
There's a man named Pillbox, and so we got into this debate about flat Earth on Brett Keane's channel, and I was like, hey,
debate.
Yeah. It was a shout. It was a
yelling
shouting
contest.
Yeah, it was a yelling contest. And so this guy was talking about all about like the satanic agenda of the globalists, globetards as he called them at one point. To try and basically keep us enslaved by the idea of the globe Earth so that they could rape and molest children, which is really weird. So I was like, all right, man, I gotta ask you something. If we live on a flat Earth, what about air pressure? I want to know about air pressure. And he said, well, there is no actual self-contained system on the planet that you actually have a pressure gradient. I'm like, well, but what about boreholes?
What?
What about when you like drill deep into the earth, and like the drill bits start having compression issues because they're so deep that the actual compression of the air pressure like compresses this. What are you, a fucking retard? You fucking stupid globe worshipping stupid cuck, blah blah blah. Like the dude went ape shit on me, lost his fucking mind.
Well,
Yeah.
You know
I
who
mean,
came?
this is the same guy who lost his shit on Jables for asking a simple question, avoided it, and just did ad hominems for the rest of the time.
It was amazing. It was so good.
You guys know
Jables
who,
was so excited.
we know who. I'm told because I only paid half attention because it was Philly D. But you know who just came out as a flat earther, right?
Who was it?
Logan Paul.
Oh.
Is he actually a flat earther? Because I watched that, and it sounds like people are still questioning whether or not he is,
Well,
or
the
it's supposed to be him trolling.
Well, no, I mean, it's a genius troll, though, because if you understand what the public perception of your intellectual prowess is, and then you say, I believe in the flat earth, and you're Logan Paul, everyone's going to be like, yeah, yeah. Now, I got to ask, I don't know why, but Addy Monster asked that you say car ramrod. Am I missing something?
There we go. Yes, yes.
No, Addie's fantastic.
Oh no!
Just about anything she asks me.
I
to.
agree. I'm just glad that we can actually keep up with the tradition of midweek, wherein we get people on to please the audience rather than having to do it ourselves.
It has been a working formula for you guys.
That's the nature of a call-in show. I think honestly, the person who came up with the idea of a call-in show was a goddamn genius, and they're like, let's say it started with Phil Donahue, and they're like, this guy's like a block of wood. What do we do?
Well, let's be honest.
Let's have retards call in.
We stole our concept for the call-in show from Matt Christensen. And I think a lot of people actually stole. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Well, no,
I
this
100%.
was your idea.
Yeah. No.
So...
I straight up ripped it from fucking Skag. I ripped it from Skag. I told him I was gonna do it too, because me and him were like hanging out at the time.
Unlike the time we told the drunken peasants that we were gonna steal their whole thing.
Yeah. No, I never told him that. I just did it anyway.
No, I didn't either.
And then when Ben confronted me in real life, he was like, "You stole her whole format," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you stole your format from that one guy, whatever his name is," and he named him, and I'm like, "You knew it already. You knew the name.
Yeah,
you
that
knew
whole
it."
That whole secret video where he confesses that he's like really jealous about the fact that we just do it so much better.
But Ben grew up my balls in Vegas.
Throwing down that infinity gauntlet. I could snap my fingers and make half my subscribers.
So what's going on with you lately, Rimshee? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Finally got the last part from my rifle. Finished putting that together.
You doing an AR platform?
Yeah, AR platform, fully built. I got to take it to the range and get the sights zeroed. Get some copper fouling in those in that rifling so that it actually shoots consistently.
Oh yeah. No, I know it.
Beyond that, I
happily
messed with the Discord on Monday.
Excellent.
Yeah, you guys keep making me feel like I need to get.
You said I usually do, but I am not the one who usually messes with the Discord. I don't usually troll, which is what I would think why it's so effective, or was so effective on Monday.
See, that's what's so fascinating about the Discord too. Is like when I started the Discord up, and Jables and Waffle were like, "Well, we know how to do a really good Discord server." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, fantastic." And then Waffle got busy, and Jables is like, "Well, there's this guy named Rimshee," and I'm like, "I know Rimshee, yeah, for sure." He's like, "Rimshee like really knows how Discord works." I'm like, "Well, then cool. Let Rimshee handle everything." And he's like, "Are you sure? You don't know him that well?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna assume everything's gonna work out fine." And so you took the reins, and I'm like, "Holy fuck, this thing works like a goddamn ship. This is great." Holy fuck.
No, it's so efficient and so big. I love the fact too that like for all of the people who are members of that, I'd say like if you go into general, right? I'd say on an average day, like about 50% of the regulars in the general chat in the YouTube Saints Discord don't even watch the show anymore.
Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not. Yeah. But I mean, to be honest though, and really this is a huge credit to both you and Jables. And Waffle, if Waffle ever gets free time again. But, you know, the three of you guys really did make this whole community. And you're a fucking stud muffin. And your work is extremely appreciated. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, we just try and keep everything working.
Yeah. And
then we try and enjoy it ourselves.
And me supplied with constant amounts of trap porn in the Not Safe for Work channel. So I appreciate that. Hell yeah.
I love it too that it's so well managed in terms of that too. Like there'll be like a joke going
porn?
around.
I agree.
No. Yeah, well, everything. No, but it's just like it gets to the point where like I'll see a joke going around. They're like, "Oh, it's in Not Safe for Work," and I'm like, "Oh, I know better than going to that part of the server. I know better because I know who runs this and I know what their limits are."
I'm gonna describe my morning routine. This is my fucking morning routine. This is my morning routine. I wake up, I stagger out, I fucking have a horrible wicked piss. I go and I fill my coffee cup up. I come staggering out into this fucking studio space. I sit down, I open up my Twitter, I open up my email, and I open up the YouTube Saints Discord, and immediately I click on Not Safe for Work.
Of course you do.
That's how I start my day. With trap porn, with bouncing lady dick, and that's what I want. That's what I want in my morning. I want bouncing lady dick, coffee, and Twitter. That's what I want.
I love the fact though that so like when it comes to like when we get raided by other Discords and shit. Like, I remember what Dankula's Discord came in and it was just all scat porn. And the reaction wasn't like, "Oh, you were terrible, ban." It's like, guys, we have a room for this. Go over there. All right, fine. We'll put you there. Oh, no, you're still trying. All right, now you're gone. And just to answer, I've seen it a couple times. And just speaking of Discord mods, Anna's internet is off until tomorrow.
Yeah.
But she's also been trying to get her own hustle on. She's going for like different gigs, different jobs she can find, whatever, you know. So she's just been swamped with her own shit, and then she's just like,
we'll try and drag her back onto the show.
She'll be back. She'll be back. I can promise you that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Absolutely. Well, my God, man, what a long and crazy night it's been.
We ended up with the proportional sizes where it makes me look like I'm a normal human being and you're a hobbit. You are every bit as good as Peter Jackson, dude.
You know this. Okay, Rimshee, do you understand what it is with the internet's obsession with height? I don't understand this.
I don't understand it either, but I'm a short individual.
You're 5'11" too?
No. Smaller.
Okay, so I'm 5'9", which is about pretty average. 5'9", 5'9.5", or whatever. Like, actually, I'm 5'10" in my boot. Fuck off. But I'm a very average height man. Like, I am not tall, but I'm not short. But the internet has this tendency, unless you are like Dieter Lucum size fucking height, they assume you're a fucking digital midget. Which is hilariously bizarre. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Really doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I don't understand why the internet is so obsessed with height. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, the porno industry, and this is actually something that's kind of interesting that I was looking into like 3 months ago, when I was looking into a possible different project that I was thinking about. I was thinking about doing a video series specifically, not on my channel, but on a new channel about the history of porn. I was thinking about doing that, but I ended up not doing it. But one of the things that I investigated was the most current recent trend over the past 3 years of porno industry leaders hiring short guys with big dicks. And the reason why was a guy who's about 5'3" to 5'7" with a 6-inch dick looks the same as a guy over 6 feet with a 7-inch dick.
Yeah, it's called forced perspective.
And there's a lot more of them out there.
Explains a lot.
There's a lot more of them out there. 100%.
If the porn industry has just picked up on this, right? Then they're way behind. Because if you consider like you're like, you know, like your average Hollywood blockbuster star, right? Tom Cruise, notoriously short. Sylvester Stallone, like short dude. Actors are short people. And it's because you can force that perspective a lot easier. And also, like, you could fit them into smaller cars. Like Tom Selleck, I think, is like 6 feet tall or 6'2", maybe. And when they put him in the I think he's like 6'2", something like that. But here's the funny thing: if you ever watch Magnum PI, you'll see that the top is never on the was it a Lambo or Ferrari they drove? Ferrari. Right?
I think it was
Yeah, it was a
was
Ferrari.
it a Ferrari? It may have been a Ferrari.
It was
Yeah,
a
it was a
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Ferrari.
the top is never
Tom
on
Selleck
there.
was 6'4".
6'4", all right, tall guy, right? You put him in a Lambo, the reason that you only see him driving on sunny days with the top off isn't just because it looks good, but it's also because they couldn't fit the top on. They literally could not put the top of the car on when he was in
Lamborghinis are
there.
extremely tiny fucking cars. They're not built for big dudes.
But at the same time, like actors, like if you take an actor who's like 5'5", right? Like a male actor, 5'5", but he's just right proportional, just that 5'5" perfect size man, right?
Sure.
You can make him look however fucking tall you want. I mean, how tall is Stallone?
How tall is?
I want to say he's like
Sylvester.
Sounds like a job for Google.
5'10". Sylvester Stallone is a half an inch taller than me.
All right, so Sly Stallone is 5'10". You look at fucking Dolph Lundgren, like towering over him in Rocky. Lundgren, I think, is like 6'4", right? So
He's
still tall,
very
but
tall.
he's not. That's not Dieter Lucum tall, right?
No.
So yeah, they always, when you're shooting on camera, smaller people are easier to film. And also, the internet's obsession with height, I think, was a bunch of people like me. I was told for years that I was 6 feet tall. I was told by the goddamn army I was.
Dolph Lundgren is 6'5", so he is 7 inches taller than Sly Stallone.
Man. That's a very tall man.
He's a very tall man.
But then you look at him; he looks like
he's got a master's in biochemical engineering.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's a member of Mensa, I think.
You know that, right, Rimshee?
I've heard that there are so many actors out there where you've started hearing things. Oh, they have this degree, like that one actress on The Big Bang Theory, who's the neurobiologist.
Yes,
she actually has a degree in that.
Yep.
I mean, on the set of the Expendables, Dolph Lundgren was the second smartest man there, next to the guy who figured out that if they get all of these aging 80s and 90s action stars into one movie series, they could make a lot of money.
Well, okay, and one thing that's really, really fascinating is, since we're on the topic of it, Asia Carrera, former legendary porn star Asia Carrera, has an IQ of 156, and she is actually a member of Mensa, 100%.
That's interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
I can't wait until they do a Golden Girls remake with like her and Gina Davis.
Asia Carrera is an actual legitimate fucking genius. She is a genius.
Mensa level genius.
Well, I made that joke just because actually Gina Davis is also like a Mensa member.
Yes, she is. She is 100%. And oddly enough, Sharon Stone is not a member of Mensa, but she has a massively high IQ, massively high,
and a very viewable vagina.
Anyway, like, fucking whatever. Addy Monster says, "Lol dab." Also, tell us how to help Anna. I want to help. Does Anna Hot Hearts need help right now?
Oh no, her internet was supposed to get turned back on today, but instead of getting turned back on tomorrow.
Okay, we'll let you guys know if anything needs to be done.
Yeah, if anything, just like tweet at her, tell her she's awesome. You should do that anyway.
And Caligator says, actually, the obsession with height is a daddy thing for chicks. They need a guy taller than her to get their rocks off / fantasy. Look, I gotta be honest with you. I have a bit of a fetish about super tall women. I want to climb them like a fucking jungle gym. I'm totally into it.
I've had it. No, I mean I've had like an absolutely gorgeous woman who was like notably taller than I was. And
what about you, Rimshee? What about you? You ever date a super tall girl?
Dated? No. But I'm
Dang.
being very specific with my words.
Okay.
I kind of picked up on that.
Been intimate with a super tall woman.
Define super tall.
Taller than you?
Yes, I have been intimate with a woman taller than me, but that doesn't take much. I'm roughly 5'6".
Over 6'2".
Eh.
Probably right around 6'2" once.
It's not bad. For me, it was like, I'm not used to this.
I'm digging it, man. I like the whole like subreddit r/same species. That's my jam, man. I'm into it. That's some crazy shit.
Fuck. No, never mind. I made a point about not knowing about Reddit. I'm not gonna break that streak now.
Well, here's the thing with height. I don't care if she's taller than me or shorter than me. It's not gonna matter anywhere in the future because I've got an amazing girlfriend. But
she could be taller, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm not saying she could or couldn't. I'm not saying anything because I'm not going to say anything to get myself in trouble. I don't know what will get me in trouble, and let's keep me from being in trouble.
You're actually in a real relationship. Yeah, that's definitely a relationship.
This man is actually definitly for real in a relationship, and he knows the rules.
Definitely not a single man when he
anyway, go ahead.
Because he doesn't know what he could do.
I forget where I was going with that. Oh, I remember. Like, I don't care about height because I spent time in the Marine Corps, and there are only two types of Marines. There's the tall guy who can really he's tall and he's imposing, and then you got the short guy with short man syndrome. I was that for a little bit, and then I calmed the fuck down.
Well, the nice part about being a bit shorter in the Marine Corps is you are statistically less likely to get shot to death. And also, the Navy SEALs have a height requirement that you have to be under. They only recruit shorter guys.
Also, another more pressing point too. Well, shorter man, smaller man means shorter man, smaller man means like you need less fuel, which means you need half as many crayons as the big guys do to keep yourself fueled throughout the day.
Double the crayons.
Full crayons.
I will tell you, I ate double the crayons. I made sure they knew who was boss.
Side of mashed potatoes and some extra crayons, please.
All right.
Yeah, E4 Corporal is not just something for Discord. When I don't have anything else to put, I just put my old rank.
All right. So Rimshee, anything you want to show, promote, put out there? Any fun links you wanna put out there into the world?
Well, beyond the Lesser Saints of Discord podcast, also known as the pre-show to the YouTube Saints,
also
at some point on a Saturday, perhaps we may have a special showing with a special guest. I will say no more. But
do you want to announce
about it?
I know who it is, and I can't wait, dude. I'm
definitely
really
check
excited.
that out. I was just curious though, if this might be the most opportune time for you to decide / announce that you're moving your show back a half hour.
Oh no, we're gonna just stop 5 minutes earlier.
We know the first 20 minutes of the Friday show is garbage anyway.
They basically quit like 25 minutes before our show goes. They'll just quit like an extra 5 minutes. It's fine. Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
There goes my programming.
I try and catch the Lesser Saints every single week when I can. Like it just depends on there. It depends on how much. It depends on how much Nick is like trying to like bother me with a bunch of shit I have to work on.
Yeah, I do come up with great ideas.
His fault.
Real late in the game.
His
fault. Great ideas.
His fault.
Yeah, and then you hit me up
fault.
with like
It's
the
his
ticker done, and I'm like, oh shit, the ticker. That's right.
That guy.
How long? 12
fault.
minutes. I can do
Okay.
this. Yeah, it's fine.
But beyond that, also definitely the Lesser Saints or the Locked and Loaded podcast on Mondays that Taupe has shilled earlier. It has Pav, Buck, and Smart Pig in it.
Yes.
That's my people. That's my people right there.
They're our
Go
sibling
check that
show.
out. So
Awesome.
make sure everyone to check out the YouTube Saints pre-show on their Lesser Saints of Discord
Yes.
every Friday before the show, and check out Locked and Loaded every Monday. See, look, we're blocking up, and you can have the whole weekend to be like, there's nothing to watch, And then you can get back on Monday and be like, hey, everything's great again.
My people. All right.
Also, Buck, Pav, Buck, Pav, and Smart Pig, you guys need to shill more.
Yeah, you do. Get off your fucking lazy piece of shit asses. Shill, cocksuckers, shill.
Jeff, it's like we're watching the next generation of
You think this failing show happened with no effort? We had to build this up with sweat, blood, and tears for it to fail. You fucking...
We had to build it up with sweat, blood, and tears. Then we had to just shit ourselves for 6 months in order to kill this thing. There's a lot of work that goes into everything about it.
Start working, you fucking cocksuckers. All right, anyway. So, Rimshee, we love you, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
Peace, brother. All
right,
anyway.
Maybe pee your pants and cum. I don't know how the meme goes.
Piss my pants and cum. Are you serious? Oh my god.
Yeah, it keeps coming back. I don't even know where it came from. By the way, I do kind of internally laugh when I see those memes about the difference between being 5'11" and 6 feet, but only a little bit. Otherwise, they're harmful. So you shouldn't share those.
I just tell everybody that I'm 7 foot tall, and they're like, "Really? Like, no, you're vapid and shitty, and I hope you die." So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have been your midweek saints.
The tallest of the tall saints. Yes.
Sure.
Listen, this show is at least 6'2". Just don't meet it in person. You'll be disappointed.
Anyway, so we love you. We appreciate your attention. Thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday randomly in the middle of the fucking day because now it's suddenly bright out again.
At a suddenly announced time slot change.
I know. Yeah, well, welcome to that. So from now on, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then on Fridays, we're going to be 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Or 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, time zones are a thing, and you need to be cognizant of them.
Got him.
But yeah.
Nailed it.
No. Yeah. Fuck, that's just science right there.
Anyway.
Join us on Friday when our guest will be Neil deGrasse Tyson or someone else.
But probably Neil deGrasse Tyson. But
probably
actually,
he didn't have shit to do these days.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm glad, like, you know, we're just gonna hold up our consistent sort of tradition of having guests with allegations of sexual harassment.
Look, can I just say? So I got a hold of Neil deGrasse Tyson's people, right? And I was like, look, man, we want to do this show. We think it'd be really good. We think it'd be a really good fit for it. The first thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson's people wrote back to me was, "How wet is your mouth?" But it was misspelled. I had to like take a minute to like really try and interpret what that spelling was, but they were basically like, well, "How wet is your mouth?" And I'm like, I don't know. I guess
they didn't ask like scale of 1 to 10 or nothing.
Well, I mean, they didn't give me any qualifiers, so I just had to like make it up on my own. So I was like, damp. My mouth is damp. Why do you ask? And all they wrote back was 13 O symbols, like the letter O, just ooh. And that was it. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I left it alone for like 2 weeks. I didn't write back. I'm like, okay, well, they're going to clarify. But they didn't. They didn't at all. So finally I wrote them back and I'm like, okay, well, obviously there's like a disconnection here going on. You know, you asked me about the moisture level of my mouth and I explained and you said, ooh. So what exactly did you mean by it? The first thing that they wrote back to me was, "Do you like movies about gladiators?" I thought this was a funny reference to the airplane movies. So I said, haha, that's a good movie. And they wrote back with, "Shut up, bitch. What do you think about fucking gladiator movies?" And I didn't know how to respond. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, what do I do?
Well, I would definitely write them back, citing all of the historical inaccuracies of Gladiator. That's just Neil deGrasse Tyson's thing. But moreover, I mean, soften them up with that, and if they ask you for goatee pictures, you just oblige them, because I really want to know if it's okay to build a show as, you know, featuring black science men.
Well, sure. I feel like there's a lot of expectations that are being kind of like weighing upon me. They're kind of like stacking weights on my shoulders. I don't know, get me to a position that I'm not going to be very comfortable being in that position of.
Well, that's the Neil deGrasse Tyson experience. You get put in uncomfortable positions. First, you have to accept climate change, and then you just have to learn to like relax around the anus and just sort of. Yeah, that's it's standard, science community. Don't even get me started on Bill Nye the Science Guy. My God, that man has a dungeon.
Is this gonna make me famous? Will it make me famous if I just bend over and take like science communicator dick?
I don't know how Dr. Phil work out.
He was gentle. He was actually.